兄貴、広島へ戻る支度はできとりますか？
ああ、大丈夫だ。行こう。
兄貴、まずはモレノに向かってつかさい。松永と高頭がわしらを待っとりますけ。
でも頭、本家の連中もおやっさんを探し回ってるって話です。あいつらが俺らを見つけたら面倒なことになるかもしれませんよ。
今はあいつらに構ってる暇はね。
そうじゃ、連中がわしらに何ぞ言うてきよったら無理にでも押し通ったる。相手が本家じゃろうが邪魔してくんならやるしかないで。
Can you hear me now? I'm gonna need to buy a new controller. That's how bad this is. Like, this controller I'm using has stick drift, so it's gonna be very difficult to play a game with it. And I have another controller that has stick drift. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to use the stick drift controller. I have two controllers with stick drift. I literally need to buy another controller. I'm probably not going to be able to get one till October, but I was using the only good controller I have left. Besides my wife's, I can't use hers because that's hers. I refuse to break hers. But yeah, my other two controllers, including the one I'm using right now, they have stick drift. So I need to buy a new one. Yeah, it is what it is. So what I was saying was I have to give a warning. I am cooking because I need to eat something. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Spider-Man 2 is an amazing game. I do. I know there's a lot of people that say they prefer the first one over the second one. I don't. I love the first one, but the second one was better. I liked Venom, even though we got to hardly use him. I like Kraven and his hunters. Lizard was cool, especially the chase sequence. Just the story for me, despite what anyone says, overall in 2 was better. Now, the ending did get a little wacky for me, but it was still better. It's bringing up Spider-Man out of nowhere is kind of crazy. You know what's funny? I had a conversation yesterday with some people online. Usually I'll watch like a video and I'll see comments. And even if I disagree with it, I will never comment. Literally. Yesterday, out of my whole year, all my years of living, was the first time I ever commented on a video. Like, other than watching a video with someone and then commenting with them in person, like, actually commenting on a video was the first time I ever did it. I'm usually, like, a loner, and I just usually like to keep my opinions, because I know nobody will, like, care or change their mind. But I saw a comment yesterday on a video that absolutely made me so angry, so infuriated, so, like, I felt dumb reading it, that I had to comment on it. And it was involving Spider-Man, and it was the glaze of Tobey Maguire. I'm tired of hearing the glaze of Tobey Maguire. You can like him, but you can admit that he is not perfect. Everyone glazes him like he's the perfect, best Spider-Man, and I'm sorry to burst anyone's bubble. I literally said this in the comment. He's not, okay? One, like I could give so many examples. I'll mention the comment I made, and then I realized after sending the comment I didn't want to fix it, but I left out a couple other things. Because they're like, oh, compared to Tom Holland, Tobey is the GOAT. And like, but I've also heard compared to Andrew, he's the GOAT. Like, someone was like, basically, it was like No Way Home. It was a No Way Home clip. And people were saying the only good part about No Way Home was Tobey Maguire. Like, I didn't care about the movie until Tobey was on screen. And then there were other comments, like people saying, like, "Oh, I was listening for leaks, and I waited till the film come out because I refused to go see it unless Tobey was in it. I wanted to make sure the leaks were real before I went to see it because I don't like Tom." And I was like, "Okay, you don't have to like Tom, but to say Tobey makes a movie, he does it." I'm sorry. Look, I love No Way Home, and I still don't know if Brand New Day is better than No Way Home. I think Brand New Day is either just as good as No Way Home or better. I can't say right now if he's better. I don't know. But I'm leaning to they're both great movies in the different approaches they take. I feel like I can't choose one over the other. So, I mean, my anger and like frustration and non-understanding for the Tobey glaze is the same thing for Brand New Day. Yes, do I think Brand New Day was a fantastic movie? Yes, I love it. But like to say, for everyone to say like, oh, it was miles better than No Way Home, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really agree with that. I don't agree. I think it's just as good as No Way Home. I'm like 85 to 90% sure I can't say it's better, but I can't say it's worse. So instead, I'm just gonna say it's just as good as No Way Home. So, because, yeah, no, like, there was still a lot of flaws in that movie, like Scorpion being underused. How do you feel about Insomnia's version of Peter? I mean, it's good. I don't know why they felt the need to change the mocap actor. Well, I do know. They wanted it to look closer to the voice actor. But I didn't mind the like, design for him in Spider-Man 1. So I think they should have, like, did Spider-Man 2 with the same character. Well, and Miles Morales, but when they did the remaster, they kind of updated his character to look more like the voice actor, which I understand, and at first I didn't like it. I've had 3 games with him: the remaster, Miles Morales, and 2. I've gotten used to the change. And kind of now my opinions on it is I like the newer look more than the original PS4 Spider-Man look. It works better for me. You know, in scenes, in fight scenes with the rubble, the blood, the cuts, it works better than the original design. So I'm starting to like find out that for me that was a good decision. I gotta pause it for a second, but yeah, basically those were the comments, and I wrote like, I don't get the hate for Tom. I never did, because there was never this much hate for Andrew. In fact, there are people out there, and this is, I guess, a little bit of criticism for Andrew as well, because I have criticism of all of them, but I think out of all 3, the overall best one, in every way, as Peter Parker, as Spider-Man, with the jokes, with the flexibility, the one that plays the character closer to the comic and the animated shows, how he should be played, is Tom. You can disagree, but I'm sorry, like, the facts are there, and I have the facts. Hold on, I gotta send a text real quick. But yeah, so the comment, like, I basically put was, I don't understand the hate for Tom. And then someone said, oh, I'm not hating on Tom. I'm just saying his movies were bad. And again, no, they weren't. Homecoming, I'll give you. I just don't think... Here's the thing. Homecoming was bad for me because there was so much done wrong. We're going to get into that. But the hate for Andrew I have is everyone saying how comic accurate he is. He is. Until Tom. Once Tom came on, and all, because people will point out, oh, like, for example, Toby, they'll be like, oh, his awkwardness is closer to Peter. Yes. But then you go into Tom's awkwardness, and it's even more closer to Peter. So if you're like, oh, I like Toby because his awkwardness is the closest to Peter, that's not true. Tom's is. Because his is good, but then once Tom became Spider-Man, his awkwardness was better. So literally, Tom beats Toby in that aspect. So you could, yeah, even though Toby was good at it, Tom is better at it. So, like, that argument is invalid towards Toby because Tom does it better. So you can't... So, like, for me, like, I was like, okay, Tom does the awkwardness better. For me, Toby's jokes and, I guess, humor were not funny to me. They were boring. They were not funny. They were cringe. They were nerdy. And I guess you could be like, oh, Peter Parker is nerdy. Yeah, but they weren't the good nerdy. They were like the wanting to punch a kid and throw him in a locker nerdy. They weren't Peter Parker nerdy. I didn't like his joke. They weren't funny, you know, and stuff like that. I didn't like Toby's version of Peter Parker. Andrew's was better, a lot better, but I think, again, Tom just did it better. He plays an awkward... And also, Tobey Maguire was, what, 26, 27? When he played Spider-Man and Peter Parker in the 2002 movie, he was playing, I think, a 16 or 17-year-old Peter Parker, high school student, right? I'm sorry, Toby, you didn't look like a high school student. You looked like a grown man. You were 26, 27. You can't play a 16, 17-year-old. I wasn't believing it. Every time they're like, oh, he's in high school, I was like, no, he's not. Look at him. He's got crow's feet. The man is a grown-ass man. He is not a kid. So I didn't like him as the character because he didn't even fit the high school feel. And then even Kirsten Dunst, I didn't like her as Mary Jane. Like, there were moments where I watched her on screen and I'm like, yeah, I can see Mary Jane in her. And there were a lot of moments where, like, this bitch just has a red wig on and she's Mary Jane. Because she has a red wig, she's Mary Jane. This is not Mary Jane. Like, there's a lot of choices and a lot of stuff she did there that Mary Jane would not do. And funny enough, whether you agree or not, in the comics, Mary Jane is like a punk loner girl. She's not like this pretty princess type girl. The way that Kirsten Dunst plays Mary Jane in the Tobey movies is not Mary Jane. It's not that character. So I didn't like that either. I didn't even care about Harry. I like the actor of Harry. I think he did a good job. I do think Insomniac MJ is more comic. 100%. I loved her. She was a reporter. It was believable. The way she acted, her choices, 100%. I do think that the game version is close, but like it's, you know, for me, like it's really hard when you take a material that isn't a movie and try to adapt it to a movie, whether it's a comic book, a regular book, a play, or anything, and put it into movie form. It's always very tricky and hard. So I was already, I was just blinded and excited because I'm like, oh, I finally get to see Spider-Man on the movie screen other than reading him in the comics. And then we got Tobey's, and yes, it was good when I was a kid because I didn't know any better. But as the movies went on, especially with Spider-Man 3, for me, I liked it, but it is still the worst movie. Spider-Man 3 is the worst. I like, what's his name? D'Onofrio, the one that played Harry. I like the actor. I didn't like his version of Harry, especially in 3. But we'll get into that. I'm trying to break down the movie so you can see why there are so many problems with that series for me. That I just don't like it. If I had to watch any Tobey movie again, though, it would be 3. Despite how bad it was, it would be 3. But, like, for example, Spider-Man 1. I did like that it was, like, coming from his arms. That's accurate to most extent. I did like that it took him a while to learn it. He didn't learn it off the bat. I liked the Uncle Ben stuff, the rage he felt afterward. Very comic accurate, right? Even though there were a lot of scenes that were cringy and weird and not believable to me. But I loved, what's his name? Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. The suit, though, for me, was always the most wackiest and silliest, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It looks like a metallic Power Ranger suit, and I love Power Rangers, but this is a Spider-Man movie. Y'all could have done a better Green Goblin suit. I'm sorry. And even Willem Dafoe said that suit was heavy, because it was metal. Go figure. It was heavy, it was a pain to work in, it was hard to move in, which is why some of his, like, fight scenes in the movie with Peter in that suit seemed kind of slow and, like, choppy, because the metal suit was hard to move in, and I'm like, that makes sense, because that's my next point where I didn't like, is the fights weren't believable. It seemed like a video game where there's a frame drop, and then the punch would happen in a frame drop, and Spider-Man would easily dodge it, except it's a movie. And that makes sense, because Willem Dafoe has also said, I hated that suit. I wasn't going to come back and play the character if I had to put that suit on. But they have, like, where they can CGI it on now and then. But they didn't do that. They gave him a completely new suit, which I like that Green Goblin suit and No Way Home a lot better. But he hated the suit, too. He said, I wasn't going to come back if I had to wear that suit again. It was horrible to work in. And I was like, I mean, yeah, seeing it in the movie was just embarrassing. I wonder what Green Goblin will look like in Insomniac Spider-Man verse. I hope it's not like that metallic version. I hope it's closer to the comics. I hope he looks like a goblin, you know, once he transforms. I hope he has, like, all the details and wrinkles. That would be really, really cool. Although, I think it'll be closer to the No Way Home thing, where it's still Norman, but evil. I don't think they'll paint him green. I would love to see that, but I mean, how do you, like, explain that after taking this gas or this injection that he turns green? I mean, I guess you could, because the same thing happened with Kurt Connors with Lizard. But anyways, that was, like, my main thing. Tobey did his job as best as he could, but his age didn't fit the character's age. I wasn't believing he was a high school student. Kirsten Dunst, there were moments where I was like, okay, yeah, she could be MJ, and there were a lot of moments where I'm like, that's not MJ. MJ wouldn't do this. MJ wouldn't say that. MJ wouldn't do this. You know, so Harry's character was okay in the first movie. Didn't care for him that much in the second one. Okay still, though. Third one, hated him. Absolutely hated him. I feel like they made the third movie just for us to hate him. Well, I hated him. I didn't care. We're getting backstory between her and Somaya. But yeah, the suit for Green Goblin, horrible. But I do think the acting for Willem Dafoe and a lot of moments with Toby, even though I wasn't believing in the character, were pretty good. I do think Spider-Man 2 was a huge step up over the first one. I love Doc Ock, and I loved his story. Obviously, the train sequence. I think Toby did a lot better in that one. Still didn't believe in his character. I think he was like 29, almost 30. So, but he was in college. But I'm like, yeah, that's not really that's not really an age you go to college. Yes, you can go up to college until you're like 60 or 70, but why would you go so late? You know what I mean? So, but it was more believable. I liked him a lot more in that movie, the way it ended. But look, even some of the faces he made, like his crying faces in all three movies, they were disgusting. And I use that word perfectly. His crying faces don't look right. They don't look like a normal human crying. Like, if you've seen a normal human, like, he ugly cries. There you go. That's the word. His face contorts to the point where, I just want to hit him. I'm sorry, I want to hit him. It's an ugly cry. I don't like it. Some people in Spider-Man 2 hated how Insomniac used Yuri of Wrath. That's comic based. I actually was expecting that. I wanted that, and I was so excited when it happened. I was like, oh my god, it's Wrath. Like, I love Yuri's character as Wrath in the comics, so you can hate it. It's comic accurate. They teased a lot of it in the first game with the DLC. I was really excited when I saw it, and I can't wait to see how it wraps up in Spider-Man 3. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 was really, really good, actually. I didn't have a lot of problems with it, except for the ending where Harry finds out that it was Peter or Spider-Man that killed his father. Not really. It was himself. They killed it because it was his glider. But and then leading into 3, I liked the fight at the beginning. With Harry and him. Although the new Goblin, I think that's what his name was in that movie, the new Goblin thing. Even though at the beginning I liked it, towards the end it didn't work for me when he just. Well, I didn't like the whole fight at the beginning. With the conversations they were having. How he's like, oh, MJ's mine, screw you, you killed my father. Like, that shit pissed me off. And it was so fast in the movie. I was excited when they announced Venom. The actor that they cast for him, I wouldn't have chose. The way they did Venom's character in the third movie was ass. So it just left me very disappointed. Because I thought the character could have fit perfectly in that movie. Sandman was good. I didn't mind Sandman. I'm glad they brought the same actor back in No Way Home. I liked him. I like Sandman's story. He was sad. His daughter and everything. I feel like the movie was overstuffed, obviously, but I still think it could have worked if they had a better script and they did Venom well, and maybe that Harry shit wasn't in there, at least till the end of the movie. The whole Harry's trying to steal MJ from him, I hated Harry. That whole movie. I think the Flame arc in Spider-Man was the best side story. I can't remember all the side stories, but it was one of my favorite, actually. I like the Kraven one, too. I like the Kraven side stories, if you take all the bases and they show that Chameleon has been watching Kraven and kind of hinting that Chameleon might be like a little side boss or something for the third game. Or maybe a main villain, who knows? But yeah, so for me, I just hated all that. Who else? Harry's death at the end of that movie was very sad, but I also hated. Well, I hated, but I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it because the whole movie, it felt like they were trying to make me hate him. But like, killing him off in the third movie, if they would have made a fourth movie, seems kind of soon. Maybe in the fourth movie, like, he just got introduced to be able to fight and shit. Like, it's kind of bad. It was kind of bad. And that movie was just an overall, mostly a disaster, so I can see why they didn't make a fourth one. But I think it could have been good with a better script, a better actor to play Venom, and a better portrayal of Venom. Because Yeah, that was, and the way that fight ended at the end was just so quick and disrespectful. So, yeah. Those are like all my gripes. I think out of all of them, the best one with the characters doing their best and everything in the story and stuff, including the villain, was 2. But I like 3 because at the end of the day, I still do like Venom and Sandman and the new Goblin thing. You know, there was a lot of moments and stuff in there. But I'll admit it was a mess and there was a lot of overbloatedness and stuff like that. But yeah. And, you know, the Bully Maguire thing was the one thing that always, every time I decide to go back and watch it, I skip around with. I know it's a meme thing now, but the Bully Maguire thing was the worst, most cringiest, most stupidest, most annoying thing in the movie. I get that the symbiote is supposed to alternate his personality, but you could have done it in so many other ways than this stupid Bully Maguire thing that I didn't find funny. A lot of people in my theaters when I saw it was laughing. Didn't find it funny. I found it annoying every time it came up. His quips and lines while he's angry, didn't find funny. I was just like, bro, shut up. Him hitting on, I think it was Gwen, right? I didn't like that actor for Gwen, tell you that right now. I didn't like her with Peter. I didn't like Peter hitting on her. It was disgusting. It was annoying. It was bad. I didn't like it. And, you know, overall, I did not like the Bully Maguire thing. So people will be like, oh, like the Bully Maguire shit was so good in that movie. No, it was not. No, it was not. It was annoying. But although I guarantee you if they took it out, it would still be a bad movie. So, for the other reasons I pointed out. And then going in, like, we're going to criticize every movie, obviously, because, again, there are criticisms in everything. Nothing is perfect. But, going into Andrew Garfield's first movie, the way they did the symbiote, Peter and Insomniac 2 is better than that movie. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting him to die in the movie. So when he died and the symbiote brought him back, I was like, yes, that's how you do a symbiote. That is how you do a symbiote. I was so happy. We have to talk with all of them and get some info. I was so happy. I was like, yes, this is how you do it. And I just love the symbiote better. Like, imagine that script and that story, but in Spider-Man 3. Harry, fuck the new Goblin shit. Harry having the symbiote and working with Pete to take down, you know, Sandman and everything. Only then to pass it on to Peter when something bad happens. Let's say Sandman killed him. And then somehow it goes back to Harry, right? Being Venom. I think I would have liked that more because I was expecting Eddie, but not that actor's version of Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that the actor that played Eddie in the movie was just a bad actor. Not a choice I would have picked for Eddie Brock, but it is what it is. Although I did like his banter between Toby and I think that worked well, but I wouldn't have choose that actor. But I do like the symbiote and the way it was done better in the game. Yeah, moving on to Andrews, we got Amazing Spider-Man 1. Now, I think this is my favorite Amazing Spider-Man. I do have a lot of problems with this still, though. I do not like the look of Lizard. He's scary, okay? I like the Lizard of Spider-Man 2 better. The Lizard of Amazing Spider-Man 1 is scary. I did like Kirk Connors and his shit. I didn't mind the conversations between Lizard and Spider-Man or Peter. I think it was well done. I just didn't like his design. The police chief dying, Gwen Stacy's father, helping Spider-Man in the end, realizing he was doing good, helping Peter. I love that. And then, you know, kind of him pushing her away because he made a promise. Even though I didn't like that, I understood it, and that's something Peter would do. He does it all the time. It was hard, but it was good. You know, the suit in Amazing Spider-Man 1, I don't know why people don't like it, but I think it was the best one. I don't like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit at all. I think they went back to the old kind of design for Peter, and I don't I don't mind that, but I loved the new kind of like homey, like I made it in my room type suit. You know, because like I even liked it in Homecoming. I have so many problems with Homecoming, but I loved that Peter made his own suit. It was kind of weird and over the top, and the color choices were meh. But I just the fact that he made it in his room, and it felt more original and just believable as a suit, and it carried so much more meaning. I love that. So the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit with the black, the blue, and the red, loved it. The goggles, loved it. Side quests. And then that's pretty much it. That's the only criticism I have of the movie was like, you know, the lizard. I think everything else was pretty damn good. I loved Andrew as Spider-Man and Peter. I will agree, very comic accurate, but again, that was before Tom. Now that Tom's got, like, here, I believe him a lot better. Dr. Connor's a human character. How do you feel about Insomniac's version? Well, he wasn't really in the Insomniac version much. I think we got more of the lizard than we did of, you know, Kirk Connors, but I don't mind him. I don't mind him. But like I said, I do think we got a lot more of Lizard than Connors, Dr. Connors. But I didn't mind him in the movie. Lizard's design is the one thing I hated, though. That was one thing I didn't like. So, what are we trying to do? Oh, I think I know what we need to do. We need to find like 6 of these around. Yeah, the map. And then moving into Amazing Spider-Man 2, first thing off the bat didn't like was the suit. After the suit, it was Electro. I love Electro's character and I like Jamie Foxx's Electro. Just the blue Electro though, I didn't like. If they had kept the suit and the design choice for Electro from No Way Home in Amazing Spider-Man 2, I would have liked that a lot better. There's the second one. I did not, absolutely did not like the blue Electro. I like Jamie Foxx's Electro. I liked Electro's character. I just didn't like the way he looked. Okay, then going in, I'm not doing anything for this guy. Going into the setup for Sinister Six, I liked it. I liked the setup, but for it to go nowhere was very disappointing, and I didn't like that. What the hell? What else? Spider-Man 2. I'm trying to think, what else was there? Oh, Harry? I liked the actor that played Harry a lot more in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. However, I'll still admit, towards the end, he kind of became, towards the end of the movie, he became bitchy and whiny. And I hate bitchy and whiny characters. So, I kind of grew to be like, ugh, I don't like him. I've seen some also complain about how MJ can so easily take down Kraven Hunter in Spider-Man 2. Yeah, that wasn't believable, but I mean, they have an electric taser. And then it became, for me, it became more believable when she got the webs from Spider-Man or Peter. Because those webs, even with Peter, we've seen him take down those, you know, the hunters like nobody's business. So seeing her use Spider-Man's webbing with the thing was more believable. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. But with just like the taser, maybe not. However, again, a taser is believable. I don't know. But yeah, I do agree with those complaints. Yeah, it's like, come on. You know, you could have done better, right? That was number 3. I think we need like 3 or 2 more. We're going to keep looking, but yeah. I will agree with those complaints. But yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Electro's design, didn't like him. Didn't like the TASM suit. TASM 2 suit more than the first one. I prefer the first one. Really wish they would have kept that design. I'm trying to think what else is there. Oh yeah, the other goblin thing that Harry's character played in that movie did not. I don't know what the fuck that man looked like. It was scary. I didn't like it. His voice and stuff, I get what he was trying to do to give like a deeper, scary, I guess, kind of goblin vibe. It just didn't work. His hair all over the place made him look more scary than like a goblin character. I did like the glider a lot more than the one in the first movie with Toby. The suit, I think, was a little bit of a better choice, but still not what I expected from a Green Goblin suit. What else? Like I said, the setup, didn't like it. And for it to go nowhere was disappointing. Oh, the thing at the end, the Rhino. Hated it. That was not Rhino, okay? That was a man in a mechanical suit. That shit was bad. Okay, hated it. And I felt like it was just a cameo to bring back that motherfucker at the end. I didn't like it. There should be another stone around here. It's right here. I think after this one we got 2 more. What else? Oh, the death at the end of the movie with Gwen dying, I actually really liked. I thought it was very emotional. I was sad because I didn't want to see her character go so soon in the second movie. But it brought emotion. It kind of went back to the first movie, like literally saying, like, if you left her alone, this wouldn't have happened. Then again, I do agree with her thing at the end where she's like, it is my choice, and if I want to be with you, and if I want to be around you and help you and love you, it's my choice. I agree with that. I do. It's not for his choice to make. Like, she loves him. She wants to be around him, so I get it. Like I said, I still like the movie. I would still rewatch it, but, you know, I prefer the first TASM over the second one in a lot of ways. Now, going into the Tom Holland movies, I do not like Homecoming a lot. Out of all the Tom movies, that's my least favorite. I don't know why so many people like Homecoming. I just don't. I think that was the worst Tom movie. So if anyone ever gives criticism to Homecoming, 100% I agree. I just don't see a lot of criticism towards that movie. I'll see a ton of criticism towards every other movie, though, which I don't understand. Okay, my eggs are done. I'm gonna let them cool down before. Yeah, I forgot. I think I did say it. I'm making food, so I'm gonna be multitasking because I do need to eat today. It's not going to take too long. I got to let that cool down before I put cold water. But yeah, going into Homecoming, Vulture, I don't like how his character was on there. I did like Michael Keaton as Vulture. I think he did a really good job. There was a couple scenes where he was there was like tension on the screen, and it was really well done. I like him for that. I don't like the suit design. I prefer the comic suit, or even the Vulture suit from the games was a little bit better. I don't like the movie suit. I don't like how he was barely used in the movie and he just had his henchmen do stuff. Funny how Insomniac did a far better job at Lizard than the Amazing Spider-Man 1. I'm assuming because it's harder with movies, right? Sony will tell, or the comic people will tell these movie producers to do what they can and cannot do. So I don't know if that was a choice that they had to do a different look because they couldn't go with like the crocodile look with all the teeth and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't like the design, and it is funny how they did the game design better. But like I said, it's easier to make a video game off of a comic or a book or something than make a movie. It's always hard when it's a movie. And me personally, I don't know why. I don't know why. I would like to, but I don't. But it just is. It's really hard. That wasn't the last one. I think the last one's over here. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. And personally, going into Homecoming, I don't like how they made like a separate love interest just so Peter wasn't with MJ or Gwen. and how he was actually genuinely falling in love with her. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Like, I understand for the story, and that's, you know, that's basically Vulture's daughter. Didn't care, didn't like it, didn't like her at all. I wasn't believing in it. And, yeah, didn't like that, didn't like how the Vulture was underused. They had a guy there with a fist. I guess he was supposed to be Shocker. Didn't go nowhere. I hated that. Like, I was like, ooh, Shocker in a movie? That could be cool. Lame. Absolutely lame. Hated it. Also, just having that fist does not make you Shocker. Shocker. Pun intended. Hated it. What else? I did like the sequence where he traps Peter under the rubble. I like that a lot. And then the overall fight, how it ended, where he just arrested him instead of beating him to shit. I didn't like it. I was so quick, too. He beat him so quick. I didn't like it. I did not like it. That movie, Homecoming was the worst of the Tom movies. And then going into Far From Home, I really enjoyed it. I still don't think it's the best, but I really enjoyed it. I liked, you know, Hydro Man and all that stuff being in there. Even though it was like a one-off. The Night Monkey suit I liked. All that other stuff. I thought it was an overall good movie. Traveling to Spain and all these places. Really cool. Mysterio at the end. Really fucking good. I didn't know if Jake Gyllenhaal would play a good Mysterio. I really loved him as Mysterio. And the ending was really good. Don't really have many gripes with that. I like that, you know, Zendaya's character was officially MJ. That was cool. Yeah, I don't really have gripes with those things, which is crazy, right? But oh, I was supposed to go meet the Hirose family. I'm so stupid. But yeah, I don't really have gripes with Far From Home. Leading into No Way Home, the beginning was a slog, for sure. But I think then, after May died, is where you really got to see Tom and his acting. People were like, oh, I didn't even watch No Way Home because Tom. I think Tom was really good in No Way Home. Especially after May died. The way he acted, the emotions, everything. I think it really elevated in that movie. And the shots for how he felt was really good. Did I get my last comment? Oh, I missed that one. I didn't see it pop up. Insomniac version of Scorpion, I feel, was far more comic accurate. Yeah, I personally still didn't like the suit. There is one suit for Scorpion that I like. I can't remember what it is, but it is the best suit. If they could do it in movie, comics, animated, I would prefer that suit over any other suit. The goggles, I don't like. The Scorpion suit was better in that game. And I think in the Brand New Day, the suit was a lot better. I just don't like the goggles. It actually gives me like you ever looked at flies' eyes? Like, you ever got close enough to a fly to see their, like, red eyes and stuff like that? That's what it gives me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's better if he had a mask, but his eyes were shown instead of having those goggles. I don't like it. But yeah, the game version was, like, not just... I don't think the suit was better. I think I like the suit in Brand New Day better, but I do think that, you know, the character development and how he acted and stuff was better in the game, yes. I think he was done more justice in the game. So, there's that. But, yeah, No Way Home towards the end got really good. I do like, you know, Toby and Andrew coming in, but I really think Tom sold the end of No Way Home for me. Even with the anger and he wanted to, like, basically kill Green Goblin. Loved it. Loved it. I felt every punch, every pain he was feeling, I felt it. I love it. And that's where I was like, okay, I'm really excited for the next Spider-Man movie, because that's where he's really going to get to show how he plays this character well. And yeah, Brand New Day was an absolute great movie as well. I mean, it's been long enough that if you don't want spoilers, I'm sorry. The movie's been out for a while. You should have seen it, but we are gonna talk spoilers. I think out of the whole movie, the only thing I didn't like was how underused and what they did to Jean Grey. I don't like there are parts I didn't mind with Jean Grey, but they kind of made her like a villain in this movie, and she wasn't. If anything, she was a victim of like that group. But I don't like the way they used her. I did like her character. I just don't like how she was used. That's the only thing I didn't like about Brand New Day. Well, and I don't like how Scorpion was underused in that movie as well. And he wasn't even used. He was like a puppet for Jean. I didn't like that either. I loved, Tom's and even Spider-Man's, like, banter with Punisher. I loved them both on screen. I think their dynamic was great. I didn't mind Hulk either, but he didn't need to be in the movie. Let's be honest. My favorite parts of that movie are him trying to deal with the new organic webbing, him talking to Bruce on how to fix it, the rooftop scene where he saves MJ and it looks like she starts to remember him, but it's Jean and they kiss, and I'm like, yes, she remembers, only for Jean to ruin it. I was like, fuck that. And then the final scene where he's fighting the Hand. Oh my god, that part was so good. That was so good. We need more of that in Spider-Man 5. With his organic webs. That was so freaking good. The Hand and how he fought them was so good. And then the end where he kind of helps calm Jean and he takes a bullet for her. That was by the way, that was the perfect time to do a whole symbiote thing. The symbiote could have literally revived him there, like in Spider-Man 2. And there you go. The fact that didn't go anywhere other than him waking up in the hospital made me so sad and angry. But yeah, that and Punisher rushing him to the hospital, like realizing he made a mistake and he genuinely cares for Peter and Spider-Man, that he's like, oh no, what have I done? What have I done? I love John Bernthal and Tom Holland on screen together. They were so good. I think they were the best part of that movie. So freaking good, man. Insomniac kind of underutilized Scorpion as well. He was only in 2 scenes and got killed off. It wasn't just Scorpion. It was all those villains of the first movie. They were all killed by Kraven. Completely underused. Vulture, Scorpion, Shocker, all of them. I was like, dude, what? All these villains were killed? Are you serious? I was mad. I was genuinely mad. I was like, this is lame. But I guess that was like to set up how dangerous Kraven is. You know, he's a hunter and stuff like that. But I was just like, dude, that's lame. You know, and yeah, No Way Home was great. I know some people still don't like the post credit and they think it's lame. That's just because they don't know what it's for. So since we're talking spoilers, I might as well talk about the post credit scene. Well, that post credit, I know a lot of people are saying Miles. I don't believe that. I see where people are coming from, but I don't believe it's Miles. A lot of people are saying Toby. Again, very believable, especially when we know the leaks of how Doomsday is going to start with Toby's universe. And I don't care what anyone says, Toby is totally dying. Okay? His universe is not just going to get destroyed. His universe is going to get destroyed. He's going to help the Avengers to some extent, but he's going to die before the movie ends. I do believe it. I do believe that. They want to move on from this character, so I do believe that he's gonna die. Is it the Toby from the actual Toby movies, or is it an alternate version of Spider-Man from another universe? I don't know, but I do believe Toby's universe is gonna get destroyed and he will die. A lot of people believe it, and you know the Toby copers are gonna not believe it, but it is what it is. I do believe it. I think that is gonna be a huge start to the movie. And then recently they like leaked photos of them like recording and filming the movie. Toby is confirmed on set with pictures, and he's fighting Deadpool and Wolverine. And this is the beginning of the movie. So he's fighting the X-Men. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god! Seeing Spider-Man fight Wolverine and Deadpool is insane. Insane! It's, oh my god, I can't wait to see this movie. I'm so ready, bro, for December, but holy crap, right? And then, not to mention, they, I forgot what I was gonna say. That's crazy. But they, should I take a taxi up there? Yeah, I want to run all the way up there. You know, what was I talking about before we got into this? I thought Insomniac's version of Kraven was an amazing villain. So did I. A lot of people didn't like him in that game. I don't know why. Probably because I think a lot of them think he was supposed to be the main villain. But anyways, going in, so that post-credit of Brand New Day, with the whole space thing and the spider tracker sensing a Spider-Man in space, I think everyone can agree, we all believe, we know how Doomsday is going to end. Doom is going to win. So in Secret Wars comic, because there was no Doomsday comic, I think they're splitting the Secret Wars comic into 2 movies. And that's Doomsday for the first half of Secret Wars. Doomsday is going to be the first half of Secret Wars comic. And then the second half is just going to be the other half of the Secret Wars comic. Well, the first half of the Secret Wars comic, Doom wins. He beats the Avengers and everyone, and he ends up creating Battleworld, which is like this world made of multiple different universes, and he runs all of it. There's like Hulk and Captain America and a lot of other characters that become like his knights, the Knights of Doom, and he controls them. They believe, they don't remember their past and their past universes and stuff, and they just remember what Doom told them. And Doom told them, like, hey, this happened and you work for me, and they went with that. And I think Doomsday's gonna end with him creating Battleworld and the Avengers losing, kind of like in Infinity War. Now, the post-credit scene could either be for the end of Doomsday, when we find out that someone, because in the Secret Wars comics, someone saves like 4 or 5 Avengers of the team and moves them to a different area in space where Doom cannot track them. And one of those characters is Spider-Man. In Secret Wars, Spider-Man is the main leader that helps those other people save the Avengers and take down Doom in the end. So I believe Spider-Man is going to have a huge role to play in Secret Wars, and I believe that Spidey tracker is where they're stashed, where someone saved them and stashed them away from Doom because Battleworld happened. I think that's what the post-credit scene is. He's spotted somewhere safe, away from Doom, after Battleworld was created. Or it's Toby. Toby is believable, but I think it's more Tom Holland, because why would they hint at Toby in a Tom Holland movie? It has to do with Tom Holland, and I think that's Tom Holland being stashed away with a couple other heroes to save the other heroes and Avengers from Doom in Secret Wars. I do think. Now, we'll have to wait till we see Doomsday, but I think that's what the post-credit scene is. A lot of people didn't understand it. There are people on YouTube that break it down, and when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I believe it is. But people... I had 3 people in my theater. 2 of them were clapping, and then one of them was laughing at them. Like saying, why are you clapping? This shit is ass. And in my head, I was like, it's only ass because you don't know what it's hinting at or what it's saying. So it frustrated me as a fan, and knowing where it was leading and watching that cutscene and loving it. Seeing someone laugh, saying this shit is ass, pissed me off. Actually, I was like, why are they laughing? Literally, I was like, why are they laughing? This is not funny. And then my fiance was there watching with me, so she was like, oh, probably because, the cutscene. And I'm like, what's so funny about the cutscene? And they're like, well, did you see the little we got? I'm like, yeah, they're not going to spoil it. But for the fans who read the comics and know where the movies are going, obviously it's a hint at Doomsday and Secret Wars, you know what that meant. A lot of people knew what it meant. I'm assuming a lot of people were also confused because there was people out there making, videos explaining what it meant, because I guess people were confused. And then people were like, oh, this makes more sense. And I was like, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Doomsday. I cannot wait. He's almost dead. Got him. Yeah, that should wrap up chapter 9. But yeah, I see criticism all the time, but that's why I believe Tom Holland's are better. You can argue like Homecoming and Far From Home are bad, cool, but No Way Home and Brand New Day are not bad movies. It doesn't matter if Tom was playing it, the character, he did really great in No Way Home and Brand New Day. But I would argue the only bad one of the Tom movies, I even liked him in Civil War. I will argue the only bad Tom movie is Homecoming. I would watch Far From Home again. I would watch No Way Home. I would watch Brand New Day again. I'd watch Civil War. Granted, I'm saying all this when I'm going to have to rewatch the Tobey movies, rewatch the Andrew Garfield movies, and the Tom movies when we do our reactions. Probably in October for the end of October, early November for the Patreon, but I'll point it out. Literally, as we do the watch along, I'm going to point out what I don't like and what I do like. And you guys will see. Maybe people didn't like Kraven was the cause of everything. Yeah, I heard that. People didn't like that Kraven seemed like the main big bad when it should have been like Venom. And I kind of agree, but like, I didn't mind it. I don't like how he got beaten so easily by Venom. He's supposed to be this ultimate hunter, and what, he dies immediately to Venom? Sure, okay, I guess. Didn't like it, and that's where chapter... Well, no, chapter 9 did not end yet. It's gonna end soon. But yeah, I can understand the whole Kraven thing. Yeah. It is what it is.
まずは一言謝っとかなきゃいけねえな。桐生さん、あんたんとこの坊主、黙って連れ出して悪かったよ。小清水たちが坊主のことを探し始めてたんでね。俺もちょっと余裕がなかったんだ。
The chapter is gonna end soon, though, so we'll be on chapter.
わしら最初は親さんがハルトをさらったと思っとったんで。
お前らをどこまで巻き込むか、なかなか腹が決まんなくてな。
どういう意味かいの？
俺にはさ、ずっと前からお前らに隠してきた。
I'm gonna let the cutscene play out. I don't want to like talk over it. I've been doing that, so. And then we'll continue on. I'll read any comments if they come up.
沢村遥って女の子とそこの坊主はね、この町を出てからカムロ町で事故に遭うまでの間、ずっとこの俺が面倒見てたんだ。
親さん、なんじゃそりゃ。わしら今までそがのこと一言も聞いとらせんで。動画になっとんじゃ。
誰にも知られないようにかくまってやる必要があったんだ。その坊主は生まれる前からいろんな連中に狙われる運命でね。あの達川が坊主の父親じゃなかったってことは桐生さんが鴨野町で確かめた通りだよ。坊主の本当の父親は別にいる。そいつから坊主が受け継いだ血筋に価値を感じる連中が山ほどいるってわけだ。
広瀬の親分、それじゃあなたはハルトの本当の父親を知ってるんですね。
そいつはあんたもよく知ってる男だよ、桐生さん。この場にいる全員がよく知ってんだ。
何？
坊主の本当の父親はね、
まさかお前が。
宇佐美優太、俺らの目の前にずっといたそいつが。
And there's the real father. The real father is Yuta. Yep. And he knew it. He knew it. That's why he reacted that way when he saw the picture. That's going to wrap up the chapter, isn't it? Yep. On to chapter 10. Let's save. It's going to have this cutscene. I wonder what chapter 10 is. Chapter 10, Blood Law. Oh, this one's good.
何してるの、ゆうたくん。その人、ゆうべお店に来てたお客さん。なんでそんなひどいことするの？
ルポライターだってさ、こいつ。ずっとはるかちゃんのことをつけてたんだ。写真撮られたらまずいんだろ。この町の人たちはみんな何も言わねえけど、はるかちゃんがこういう奴らから隠れたがってるって事情も本当は分かってる。多分はるかちゃんもそれは気づいてたろう。特に南雲の頭なんかは芝居が下手だから。でも俺らはこれからもずっと何も知らないふりし続けるよ。この町の人間はみんなはるかちゃんのことが好きだから。
ゆうたくん。
気まずいだろうから、俺はもう清美さんの店には顔出さない。だからさ、できればはるかちゃん。
So, in case y'all don't remember, she was a pop star at the end of 5. I think Yakuza 5 was basically her pop star like era, and she gave it up. Technically at the end of 5, but the beginning of 6, because she's like, I love like my surrogate father, Kiryu, and I want to be with him. So if I have to say that I'm related to him to be with him, then that's what I want. And she ran away because the media kept chasing her around, because they're like, oh, she's the daughter of a Yakuza person. Ooh. And she didn't want it to fall on like Kiryu's job to handle it, because she believed it was her fault. When in reality, I mean, yes, announcing to the public and the media that your like surrogate father is a Yakuza, it's not good, especially when you're as big as her as a pop star. But yeah, and it was hard for her to accept that it wasn't her fault, so she just ran. And the media had been constantly stalking her and stuff, so it was a huge thing. So Yuta tried to protect her.
Oh my god.
What is that comment?
はるかと。
なんではよ言わんかったんじゃこのバカタレ。
I personally think that all 3 Insomniac games are more comic accurate than any of the movies. Yeah, so far. When it comes to the characters like Spider-Man, Miles, and the other characters. Yeah, I will agree. I will. But I mean, it all depends on how they stick the landing with the final one, for sure. But yeah, I do think they're very comic accurate compared to the movies. I would still like to see. That doesn't mean I wouldn't like to see a movie do a comic accurate version of the character. You know, so even though I agree the games do it better, I would still like a movie to do it accurate.
だって一回だけだったんす。まさか一回だけで。
このバカだね。よせ。今そんなことしてる場合じゃねえ。親分、俺には腑に落ちません。雄太本人も知らなかったのに、なんであなたはハルトの父親が雄太だと。
確かにそうじゃ。
いろいろややこしい話でさ。な、そうだろ？
なんじゃこれ。
お前はマスゾエ。なんでお前がここに。マスゾエ。
広瀬さん、約束は守ってもらいますよ。これで俺はもう採用会にも陽明連合会にも戻れなくなる。今あんたに見捨てられたら俺にはもう逃げ場がない。
なら全部ごまかさねえで話せよ。そうすりゃどこでも逃げられるように俺からクルス会長に口聞いてやるから。
話がまるで見えん。一体何ならこりゃ。
Maybe people hate Tom and defend Toby because Toby started it all with the trilogy. Just because he started it doesn't mean he's the best at it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand that, but I don't think that's an excuse, and I don't think that gives a reason to hate. Because there are literally like facts out there of why he cannot be the best. I forgot to mention the flexibility and the acrobatics he has in that movie are literally worse than Andrew and Tom's. Andrew and Tom are just more flexible and do more stunts with the Spider-Man character than Toby did. So, like, they're already closer to the comic character than he is in that. Their jokes are more funny. They're more, you know, enjoyable than Toby's. Again, more comic accurate. Their ages are closer to the Spider-Man character. I think Andrew Garfield was like, what, 22, 23? So, but he was playing, I think, an 18 to 19-year-old, which is more believable. And he looked it, too. So, despite his age, he looked close. So, where Toby looked like a grown man, he did not look like he was in high school. So, those two actors, more than anything, look close. But Tom is still the closest out of all of them.
つまりジミー・ローがカムロ町で死んだことでそいつは採用会の正当な後継者になったんだよ。
桐生さんたちにも分かるように説明してやるんだな、マスゾイよ。
採用会ってのは昔から弱肉強食の大陸を生き抜いてきた中国マフィアだ。だがその内部でもボスの座を狙って手下どもの裏切りが繰り返されてきた。だから採用会のボスはその防止策として血の絆を何より重要視する。
血の絆？血縁ってことか。
ああ、組織の幹部は常にボスと血のつながった身内で固められる。あのエドもボスのいとこでな。そして組織の跡目を告げるのはボスの血を分けた子供だけだ。だがボスの後継者になる子供が2人以上いれば何が起きるか分かんだろう。 跡目争いだ。後継者一人一人にそれを担ぎ出す派閥が生まれて、組織は敵味方に割れる。だからそれを避けるために採用会歴代のボスは2番目以降の息子を遠くに送って隔離してきた。殺さずに生かしておくのは、長男にもしものことがあった時後継者の保険になるからだ。
雄太がその保険っちゅうわけか。そんじゃこいつも混じりっ気なしの中国人なんか。
そんな話急に言われたって信じられるかよ。
信じる信じないはそっちの勝手だ。だがお前は親のことを何も知らず物心つく前から施設で育ったろうが。俺と達川はそんなお前をガキの頃からずっと陰で保護してきたんだよ。真実に気づかせないように、死なさないように、何年もの間な。それが採用会から俺たちに与えられた命令だった。
Also, why give Kraven a tiger bodyguard and he does nothing in the game? You mean the tiger? But he had a tiger? I don't remember. If he had a tiger, then yes, I would agree. That's stupid to have a tiger and it do nothing. However, I think the ultimate reason, once again, was just to make him like a big bad. For some reason, mafia characters, Russian characters, because isn't Kraven Russian? Or I think he's Slovakian, but still. Like, those characters, I guess, for some reason, always have a tiger. So, stereotype it, I guess. I think that was, like, the whole reason. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We fed her, like, some steak or something, right? We were trying to get info. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of lame. I think it was just for that sequence, which is lame. But still. But yeah, I do agree. It's a little underused. Like I said, ultimately they just wanted to make Kraven like the overall branching focus until Venom came in, and then they just killed him off fast. Which I get it, but I don't like that. If that makes sense, I don't particularly like that. So, a little shame. To see how that's how it played off. Yeah, Dima the Tiger, she didn't do anything in the game. Except for trying to attack us once when she first saw us. But yeah, other than that, not really anything.
それに保険でしかない後継者の血筋が無駄に増えれば後々組織に災いを招く。余計な目を摘むこともお目付け役の仕事だ。
Yeah, I think there was a lot of stuff, even in the first game, that they underutilized, but I guess it is what it is.
この町から忽然と消えた。そこの広瀬さんが俺らの前からずっと彼女を隠してたんだ。ですよね、広瀬さん。
その時俺が真っ青な顔したあのお嬢ちゃんに会ったのは散歩がてらのほんの偶然だったんだよ。自分の選んだ男が中国マフィアのボスの子だのなんだのって聞かされてさ。
Think they were trying to show that Venom was far stronger than Kraven? Yeah, but like, how are you gonna like show us that Kraven killed all the previous villains except for Mr. Negative and Doc Ock, obviously, in the first game, just to be killed by Venom? So you're saying Venom could have killed all the previous villains as well? Yeah, I guess, but like, I don't know, it's just, for me it's like a cop-out. I just don't like it.
要するにその坊主にはめっぽう強い母親がついていた。俺はその母親に子供を産む時間と場所を用意してやっただけだよ。
そのおせっかいのおかげで俺と達川は沢村遥を見失った。 だが俺たちはそのヘマをボスには報告しなかった。所詮宇佐美雄太は保険の後継者で誰にも注目される存在じゃない。達川と俺が黙ってりゃ雄太本人でさえ知らないことだ。何もなかったことにして済ませられるはずだった。その後採用会がカムロ町に進出してきたが、俺と達川はそのまま隠し通すつもりだった。だがそうもいかなくなっちまった。
We're getting a lot of information, Drum.
老の長男がカムロ町で岩見恒夫に殺されたからか。
ああそうだ。ジミー・ローが殺されたことでユータは後継者の保険から本命に格上げされた。そして組織はユータを採用会の後継者として迎え入れるために徹底的にその身辺を洗い始めた。つまり俺らの隠したヘマがバレんのは時間の問題だった。だから俺と達川はそれこそ血眼になって沢村遥の行方を追ったよ。組織に気づかれるより先に俺たちが赤ん坊を見つけてボスに報告するためだ。それ以外に俺たちの助かる道はないと思った。先に沢村遥と赤ん坊を見つけたのは達川だった。
I've even heard some people complain about Venom being Harry and not Eddie Brock. I mean, I haven't seen that. That's crazy. Like, I get it. Eddie Brock is the more famous Venom. I think Harry's made sense, though. I think it worked really well. Harry was sick. Symbiote literally needed to survive off of him. But it also helped Harry. Right? It made sense. Like, am I sad that it's not Eddie Brock? I'm gonna be honest, no. Just because the story with Harry was so well done that I have no complaints. Now, if it was bad, I would have been like, oh yeah, they should have done Eddie Brock. But it was good. That I didn't... There was not one time in the story where I was like, oh, I wish Venom was Eddie Brock and not Harry. It was a nice twist. I was surprised, but I liked it. I was like, oh my god. Excuse me, sorry. I was like, oh my god. It works so well that it's Harry. Can you leave her alone? My boy cat is trying to mess with my girl cat. Leave her alone. Lay down. But yeah, like, I was really impressed with like Harry playing Venom, or like you know, with the symbiote, and he did really well. You know, it gave me like the Harry from Amazing TASM 2, my bad. It gave me the Harry from TASM 2, with him being sick, right, and needing the symbiote. Except in TASM 2, he just needed Spider-Man's blood. But it gave me that sick vibe, which I liked. But also, like, a determined vibe to just, like, give out those anger moments. Like when he throws his cane at the freaking glass because Peter refuses to give the symbiote back. Like, it's really well done. So I had no complaints. Throughout my whole playthrough, I wasn't thinking that I preferred it was Eddie Brock. I was like, I'm still surprised Harry is doing a good job as Venom. Like, I love it. I loved it.
達川が遥ちゃんを。あいつはなんでそんな真似を。
これは俺の想像だが、あの事故は達川にとっても望まない。
And for me, it honestly makes more sense for Harry to be Venom because think about it. If Eddie Brock died at the end of the second game instead of Harry, why would Norman want to kill us? Why would he activate the Goblin Protocol or whatever? Having Harry die literally sets up Green Goblin. Come on. It makes sense. It's all tied together.
いつの間にか堂島の竜の腕の中にいたってわけだ。
くそ、一体何がどうなっとるじゃ。
I just hope they do Green Goblin's character good, because I really love that character, and if he's done dirty, I'm going to be very sad.
"あとはあんたらも知っての通り、達川は西洋界に殺されたよ。赤ん坊を岩見恒夫に売ろうとしたことがバレてな。あいつの殺され方見たか？そばで死んでた恋人の女はあいつがエドに脅されながら自分の手でやったそうだぜ。エドが笑いながらその時のことを話してくれたよ。エドは女が死ぬのを達川にじっくり見せつけた後、喉を切り裂いて心臓をめった刺しにした。
Damn.
いくら西洋界に忠誠を尽くそうが、俺もいつ達川と同じ運命になるか分かったもんじゃねえ。
何を泣きよるんじゃ。自業自得じゃろうが。バカたれ。
俺が知ってることはこれで全部です。広瀬さん、約束通り俺をかくまってもらえるようクルス会長に言ってもらえますよね。
By the way, they really portrayed Kraven Hunters in Spider-Man 2 as a group of animals or savages. Yes, and I love that because that's kind of what Kraven is, an animal or a savage.
南雲、坊主をしっかり抱いてやろう。
え？こいつらハルト狙ってるか。
You ain't touching that baby, bro.
なんじゃ踊れら。
That's right.
みんな下がってろ。親分とハルトを頼む。へっ。
Yo, I love that Kiryu. Kiryu is constantly fighting armies and winning. This dude is a beast. I would never want to fight this guy in real life. I love to fight, but if he agrees to fight me, we gotta do it out of fun. It can't be like it's a me or you situation, because I will lose. I will probably die. But I would love to fight him in real life, just because I'm a fighter. I love to fight, but nah. If we were fighting like a life and death situation, I know I'm fucked. This man has taken armies down. I'm not risking that. Got him. He's like, shit, what do I do? Punch him, dude. Pick him, do something.
みんな町の方へ出ろ。ハルトを頼む。
エドラチャバラ直だ。
こっちや。
This kid is loving the toss back and forth. Bruh.
그놈은 건들지 마라.
Uh-oh. Jungi-han.
お前半純喜なんでお前がここにくそそこをどけ邪魔だ
He's like, fine, then get the fuck out of my way. You don't want to talk? I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I don't know if y'all can hear my cat crying. Got you. Lame, you missed. Got him. Booyah!
형님, 아기를 빼앗았으니 이제 그만 가시죠.
キリさん、あなたとはこんな形で再会したくはなかった。今日はこれで失礼します。
Oh, just another stream of going back and forth, protecting my girl cat from my boy cat. Did you get my comment? Well, didn't see another new comment. Hold on. Hey, sit down. Don't you move. Would you say Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac is better than Brand New Day? I don't know. It's really hard. You know what's funny is comparing Brand New Day to anything is hard for me right now. Like, because there are so many people out there saying Brand New Day is better than No Way Home. It's the best Spider-Man movie. And then there's people out there literally saying that No Way Home is still better than Brand New Day. And I'm like, this is how I feel. I've had enough time to think about it. This is how I feel. I love both of those movies. I know people are like, oh, for like the story and the script, Brand New Day is better. Where No Way Home doesn't pick up until the end, which, even though I agree, I still like it. I like them both just as good. I can't say Brand New Day is better than No Way Home. I can't say No Way Home is better than Brand New Day. But I can say that they're both really great movies, and I recommend both of them. I don't like either one of them more than the other. I thought No Way Home was still going to be my favorite, but Brand New Day was so freaking good, I can't put it better than Brand New Day. But I also can't put Brand New Day better than No Way Home. They're both really great movies. They're about even. They're literally about even. Now, do I think Spider-Man 5 could beat both of them? 100%. Depending on what they do. then Spider-Man 5 could be the best one. However, it's like it's hard because No Way Home was part of the trilogy, right? Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, right? All the home names, right? It was like the home trilogy. That's what people call it. Brand New Day is the first in their new trilogy. And it's really good. If No Way Home was the final movie of the trilogy and it was the best one, which it was, Brand New Day is the first one in the trilogy. And so far, it's really freaking good. It's like No Way Home level. Which either means two things. We're going to get two more banger movies that were just as good as Brand New Day, if not better. Or we're going to get two really bad movies as a part of the trilogy, because we already got the best one. That's what that means. So we'll have to wait and see, but I do think Spider-Man 5 has the potential to be Brand New Day and No Way Home. Now you could be like, well, Brand New Day is better than No Way Home, and it's proven because it made more money. Bro, people just are in that hype. It was the summer. No one had anything to do besides apparently run to the theater and see Brand New Day about 50 times. And that's why they did it. Yeah, the movie could have been good, but it's not good enough that you're going to watch it 5 times. No movie is that good. Now, 5 times maybe over a decade, yes. But 5 times in the first week? No. No, it's not. There's no movie out there that is that good. That I'm going to watch it 5 times in the first week that it came out. Whether it's in theaters, whether it's in digital, it doesn't matter. There's no movie, no TV show, no nothing, not even a game that is that good that I'm going to watch it or play it 5 times in the first week it released. No way in hell. So, I'm pretty sure people did it because it was the summer and they had nothing else better to do. The hype around Brand New Day and a lot of people constantly saying how good it was made people keep going back to the theaters. Do I believe it's good enough to be like, hey, I really enjoyed it, I want to watch it again? Yes. Yes, I think a lot of great movies, games, and TV shows, you want to play at least 2 times, right? Play it the first time, and if you really enjoy it, you play it or watch it a second time. But after you go to a 3rd time, okay, maybe. But then after a 3rd time, it's just for shits and giggles. No way. Like, literally, you're just doing it to either raise the box office, or you're just doing it to, like, join into a group of hype that people are also doing it. Like Minecraft movie, right? I'm not a huge Minecraft guy. I only went to see it because my fiance wanted to see it, so we saw it together. It was good. Do I think it's good enough to freaking go freak out when bro says chicken jockey and throw popcorn at people and, like, throw sodas, make a mess, come to a theater with a chicken and throw it around and act like degenerates and children? No, I don't think it's that good. In fact, the amount of money I made, I believe it shouldn't have made. It's not that good. It was an okay movie for what Minecraft has to show. Hopefully the second one's better, but it was okay. It wasn't as good as everyone was hyping up. It was not. I'm sorry, it was not. So, it's just crazy.
なのに今、お前が立ち上がれない理由は何だ？自分にマフィアの血が流れてるからか？それともお前のその血をハルトも引いているからか？だがどっちにしたって同じことだ。そんなくだらねえもんに惑わされてるんじゃねえ。兄貴、自分が誰の血を引いてるかで生き方を変えるな。誰の血を引いているかで人を見るな。それができねえようじゃお前も結局ローと何も変わりはしねえぞ。俺は命に変えてもハルトを取り戻す。お前はそこで指くわえて見てりゃいい。だがその時は二度と。
Also, Tom's version never introduced Harry or Norman. I think that's coming up. But I do agree. And they're good. They're still good. They didn't have Harry or Norman, and they're still good. I don't know if they'll ever introduce Harry. I think, obviously, Zendaya is MJ. I think Harry in Tom's version is Ned, for sure. So, anything that you can expect to happen with Harry, it's Ned. But yeah, I love Tom's movies a lot. And I really like Andrew Garfield as well. But, you know, it's just really hard when, you know, you're comparing everything, whether it's the games or the comics and stuff. That's where all the muddy water goes. So let's go to the objective. Where am I at right now? Okay, let's go. I know how to get there. Alright, we're going after Jungi Han in the Jingwan Mafia. After we have our final fight with Jungi Han, that should wrap up chapter 10. So we're kind of getting we're getting to the nitty gritty. We finished chapter 9. I want to do chapter 10. I do want to do chapter 11. So we'll do 3 chapters. We'll wrap it up, and then tomorrow we'll finish the 2 chapters. I might get back. You know, I have the movie I'm gonna see is kind of like early. I should get back by like 3-4 p.m., which is kind of late, but I'll probably knock it out around there. Cause Tuesday, I'm taking Tuesday off. I have family coming over again. They've been coming over a lot often, and they're not my family. They're just close friends that I consider family, but yeah, we're taking Tuesday off. I'm gonna try to do my best to take like at least 1 or 2 days off when I can of the week for now, because September is getting you know, really busy, and I want to keep my mental health in state and keep myself not sick, right? And then obviously with the end of the year, end of October, November, with us getting ready to do the Patreon and just go crazy with that. We're gonna put a lot of time and effort into the Patreon, so we might just do 7 days a week between streaming on YouTube and Patreon. I might not have time to myself, which is why I want to take it right now while we can, all the way up till the end of October. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely excited. Stay tuned. I'm really hyped. So let's get this show on the road. Did you read my comment about Tom
岩見恒夫だろう。
Not introducing Harry or Norman. Yes, I did.
俺にはまだ
I said it. I think it. I said basically. I said that I agree they haven't, but I do think Harry's version is Ned. I think Tom's version of Harry is Ned because we have MJ, so I think Ned is basically Harry, which I kind of like Ned more. And I think at some point they will introduce Norman. But he might not be Norman. He might be someone else. Because if you introduce Norman, you have to do Harry. But we already kind of have Harry. Harry is his best friend. And his best friend in Tom's universe is Ned. So.
さすがだね。けど因縁はあんたが思ってるよりもずっと古い。うちのクルス会長と採用会との付き合いは戦前からあったらしいね。
戦前言うたら70年以上前じゃ。会長はともかくローはそこまで年いっとらんじゃろ。
おう、だからその頃の採用会の頭はローの先代だよ。で戦争で一旦切れていた付き合いがまた始まったのが30年ぐらい前だな。採用会はローに代替わりしてた。
30年前。
その時2つの組織をつないだのがさ、ヒーハイツの密航ビジネスだよ。ヒーハイツってのは戸籍のない中国人の子供たちだ。ローはその子たちを尾道に密航させてよ。クルス会長がその受け入れを頼まれてさ。しかも会長はそのヒーハイツの子供たちに闇で日本人の戸籍を作ってやってさ、ざっと1万人ぐらいの子がそうやって日の目を見ることができたんだ。
Damn, yeah.
俺も若い頃はその授業を手伝ってたよ。
おやっさんもそうがわなこと初耳ですわ。
お前に言ってねえことなんかまだ山ほどあんだから。
Pay attention to that line where he said, I've got a whole bunch of secrets I have include you all in on. That's going to be important later.
岩見恒夫も絡んでいたんですか。
ああ、常もローと話す機会はあったろうな。
そうか。それが尾道と採用会を結ぶ因縁だった。
So after Tom era of Spider-Man is done, I see them recasting the character and having a new actor play Spider-Man. Well, here's the thing. Funny thing about that, I don't know how old he is. I think he's 30, right? Now, I think he's 30 now. Let me see. He, from what I heard, he's like, as long as they let me play the character, I will. It sounds like the funny joke I'm seeing is like, what was the joke with Wolverine where they're like, you're gonna be playing him till he's 90? The same thing with Deadpool. People are like, oh, he's gonna be playing Deadpool till he's 90. And the same thing with Cap. Because they keep bringing back Cap and he's younger. They're like, oh, he's gonna be playing Cap till he's 90. Well, the comment I saw with Spider-Man is Tom Holland is gonna be playing Spider-Man till he's 90. I don't think, obviously it's a joke. I do think we're not going to see a new Spider-Man, if we do see one, for at least like 20 years. That sounds crazy, but Tom is still young, and he still has proven that he could do a lot of these stunts just like he did when he was first hired. He ain't quitting anytime soon. I know he talked about it, wanting to do it, but he's changed his mind since then. He's like, yo, at first I did want to quit after this movie, but I signed a contract for 2 more. And, you know, I think right now his contract is for 2 more Spider-Man movies and 2 more appearances in, like, the MCU, whether it's an Avengers movie or stuff like that. Other than, that doesn't include Doomsday and Secret Wars. So if he shows up in Secret Wars or Doomsday, that doesn't count. 2 movies, 2 more Spider-Man movies, and 2 other movies other than these 2 Avengers movies. So maybe the next 2 Avengers movies, who knows? Which those might take like 10 years just for those 2. So yeah, I think we're gonna have like a 20 years where Tom is still playing the character. So I don't see it happening anytime soon. Like the way you you worded it where like, oh, like when Tom's era is done. I don't think it's anywhere close to being done. He plays the character well. He just made them almost 2.5 billion off of Brand New Day. He ain't going nowhere. They ain't recasting him anytime soon. And like I said, he's still young. So yeah, they're gonna keep him. Even if Miles shows up in the next movie, they're gonna keep Tom as Spider-Man. 100%.
坊主のこと頼むよキルさん。それとさ、いつだったかお嬢ちゃん親として坊主を育てる自信がついたら沖縄に帰りたいって言ってたぜ。
はるかが
あの子があんたにも黙って消えたのはさ、いつかあんたのところに帰るためだったんだよな。
Damn.
必ず俺たちでハルトを無事に取り戻してきます、親分。
Alright, let me get a drink real quick, guys. We're gonna continue to play. I'm just gonna walk over to my fridge and get a drink. So for this, we're just gonna have like a lot of like mini fights, and then we're gonna fight Jungi Han again, and then that'll be the boss. And then once that happens, we'll have like a cutscene, and then that'll wrap up chapter 10. Let me see. Yeah, chapter 10. Oh, we got a lot of upgrade points. Hold on, let me do that. Freaking stick drift. Stick drift is being crazy with me right now. See, this is why I need a new controller. Because the stick drift is actually pissing me off. I hate this in games. Especially a game that constantly needs you to have the analog stick and stuff. Having stick drift is annoying. Damn. What was it? I just figured out it was like James Bond. How every time a Bond era ended, they recast. Well, yeah, but it's not really like it ended. It's like the Tobey movies were doing good until 3. 3, they lost a ton of money. And Tobey, I guess Tobey was a little salty, you know, so he didn't want to play the character anymore, and they're like, well, he's getting kind of old to play the character, so we'll just recast and we'll make a whole new Spider-like universe. And that's when Andrew Garfield came in. And the same thing happened with Andrew Garfield. It did decent with the first movie, but the second movie had so many problems with it. They lost a lot of money. And they had a third movie they were going to work on, but it got canceled due to the second one being so bad. And then they're like, and then Andrew didn't really get salty. He still wanted to do the third movie, but they were like, nah, we can't go forward. You know, the second one was such a disaster. Bear in mind, Sony, I think if Disney owned Marvel at this point, I think we could have gotten Amazing Spider-Man 3. Because Sony was the one doing the Tobey movies and the Andrew. So Sony was the one thinking, oh, there's no way we can make a good movie. This is not going to go anywhere. It's ass. Let's just recast. They did it with Tobey and they did it with Andrew. I guarantee Marvel would have been like, no, we know there could be something good here. Let's do one more Andrew movie and see how that does. And from the script of the third movie, it sounded really good. I think they could have made the third one really good and made their profits back that they lost with 2. But Sony doesn't like to take risks like that. Obviously, look at Sony with the all-digital thing. Right now, they're so firm on going all-digital. They think they're still going to be okay, and they might, to some extent, but they're still going to lose a lot of money. They don't see it yet. Once the PlayStation 6 comes out, once 2028 rolls around, if they still do the all-digital, that's when they're going to start losing money. So a lot of people are like, oh, they're never going to change. They're still pushing forward. Yeah, they're pushing forward now. Because it's not 2028, and they don't see the amount of money they're losing, because they're not losing money right now. But watch in 2028. It's funny that they picked 2028, considering people are like, the PS5 is still going to be out. There's not going to be a PlayStation 6 yet. Well, here's my theory. The PS5 is still going to be the main console in 2028. But the end of 2028 is when they're going to launch the PlayStation 6. I hope not. I still hope it's like 2029 or 2030. I need like 3 years to save up money, okay? Especially for, like, because they're raising controllers. With the new PlayStation controller they released, what is it, the Edge or whatever? That shit was like almost $300. The base version is $100. No one wants to pay $100 for a controller. The controllers used to be $60. The PS5 controllers are $70 plus tax now. That is ridiculous, okay? And God forbid the PlayStation 6 controllers are $100 a piece. Yeah, I need to save up money. For the console, for the controllers, for your games, if you raise them to $80 standard now, like, I need to save up. I need 3 years to save up this money, okay? So yeah, I hope it doesn't come out in 2028, but the theory that I've been thinking, and I hope I'm wrong, but it makes too much sense that I think I'm right. The beginning of 2028, they're going to go all digital. They're going to prepare us for that digital future going into the PlayStation 6. When the PlayStation 6 launches, it's going to launch the end of 2028. We're going to have a whole year of only digital games to just soak it in and basically see what we have going forward with the PlayStation 6, which is this all-digital future, which no one likes, but it's to ease us in until the end of the year when the PlayStation 6 launches and they say all digital is what we're doing. So, I think that's what they're doing. So I think 2028 is the date they want to release the PlayStation 6, probably at the end of the year. So they're trying to ease us in with the all-digital. So then when the console releases and they say all-digital, no one's surprised. In fact, hoping people might be used to it by then. I don't think they will. I think the console's not going to sell as well as they hoped. Games aren't going to sell as well as they hoped, and I think it's just going to be a disaster. But until that happens, they're going to keep pushing for it because they don't think that that's going to happen. So we have to show them. But yeah, they're going to see. You know, funny enough, I'm already failing. Today, I don't know if anyone heard about the outage. There's a PlayStation outage. Yep, I was just going to mention the boycott thing. By the way, I've been seeing people are now boycotting PlayStation, doing something where they won't play PlayStation, won't buy games, what I've been seeing. Yeah, it's for a week, apparently, from what I heard. It starts today. I think it starts... I don't know if it started this morning or tonight, but I think it starts today. And they won't play their PlayStation console. Even if it's a PS3, a PS4, they won't play it. And they won't buy games, they won't interact with anything. The PlayStation app, Sony website, they won't buy digital movies, digital games, nothing. For a whole week. Well, I'm already failing. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that. Because I know it's not gonna help. In fact, it's just gonna make me suffer, so I'm not gonna do that. I just made a huge mess. God damn it. But I'm not gonna do that. So I don't care if someone has a problem with me still playing on PlayStation. I'm sorry. It's my life, it's my money, it's my console. Do I hate that they're going all digital? Yes. But do I think doing a week of not playing my PlayStation console, not buying digital games, or anything Sony PlayStation related, do I think that's gonna help? No, I don't. 100% I don't. You know what's gonna help? You know what's gonna help? When they go all digital, don't buy a single game from them. Granted, I'm not gonna do that, but hey man, I'm one person. For all those people complaining, don't buy a single digital game from them. When the PlayStation 6 launches and it's all digital, don't buy it from them. I am, because I still need my games. It's my #1 hobby and passion that I love. But hey, I'm one person. If a ton of you guys, you know, millions of people really believe in this PlayStation shit and really don't like it, you guys, don't buy the digital games, don't buy the console. Let them fucking go broke, okay? And then they'll reverse it. I know they will. They just need to see that they're losing a ton of money, or they're gonna go bankrupt and they will go broke. Trust me. But I'm one person. Now, can one person help? Yes. But I'm just one guy. Like, if it was just me that boycotted it, Sony's not gonna care. So you guys can boycott it. I still need my games. Okay? And I still need my new consoles as they come out, if they're good. So I'm not gonna do it, but you guys can do it. Because at the end of the day, even though I hate it, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna buy all digital. If that's all the option, I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, I'm not playing these cool games anymore. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not. Like, I love physical, but if physical isn't an option and they never reverse their decision, does that mean I'm gonna stop playing these games? Does that mean I'm gonna stop buying a PlayStation console? I know a lot of people are saying yes. No, it does not. I'm not doing that. So I'm still gonna buy the PlayStation 6, even though I prefer disc. I'm still gonna buy digital games as they come out, especially like with Wolverine. Wolverine, I bought digital, or I'm gonna buy digital, and I'll get it on disc later because I have a whole bunch of backlog that I need to buy on disc that I only own digital, and those buying those now will be cheaper than they will later when everyone wants to buy physical. I'll buy Wolverine later, physically, probably like next year, but right now I bought a digital just so I can play it and say, you know, I'm happy to play it. I'll buy it physical later. I got other physical games I need to buy to add to my collection, but yeah, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not doing this boycott thing. I think it's stupid. I don't think it's gonna help. The only way that's gonna help is your wallet. Do not buy a single Sony thing. Do not buy a console, a movie. If Brand New Day comes out digital or physical, do not buy it. I don't care. That's what's gonna teach them. Not a week of not playing the console. You wanna know why? Because they're seeing, oh, they're just gonna take a week. It's okay. A week of no sales isn't gonna hurt us. Because there will still be people that buy our games, which is true. A week is not really gonna make a difference to us. And it's not. I'm sorry if you think so. It's not. A week is not gonna affect them. You need to do a longer period of time. That's why I say when 2028 comes, and they're all digital, and if they release the PlayStation 6 at the end of 2028, that whole year, don't buy a digital game, don't buy the console. They'll notice the difference in money, and they hopefully it's enough to the point where they're like, yo, we need to reverse this because we're losing too much money. But that's the only thing that's gonna teach them. If you want to boycott it right now, starting today, until they reverse it, don't play your console. Don't buy a digital game. Don't buy anything Sony. Don't do this. But I know people ain't going to do that. I know people are going to be like, oh, what if it takes them 4 years? Am I not supposed to play the console or buy anything Sony for 4 years? Yes, that's how you teach them. Like, I'm not going to do that. But if you really want to stick it to them, that's how you teach them. Don't play it. Don't buy anything Sony or PlayStation, including Spider-Man Brand New Day. Don't do it until they reverse their decision. If it's 5 years, it's 5 years. If it's 10 years, it's 10 years. Oh, wait, what's that I'm hearing? You don't want to do that? That's too long? Well, then you must not care about it enough. Like, literally, that's the only way it's going to work. A week is not going to affect them. Not even a month will affect them. It's like a child saying, I'm not going to talk to you for a week. Okay, I guess we'll talk after a week. That's what PlayStation's saying. I guess I'll wait for you to buy from our console and play our console a week from now. They're not affected. It's so lame. I mean, I've mentioned this guy. The YouTube channel that gives deals on like digital games and physical games, and whenever a sale happens on the Nintendo store or whatever, Games Cross. He talked about this too. And he said it's stupid. I agree. It's stupid. It's not going to change a thing. The fact that people think not playing the console, not buying anything Sony, not buying any digital games from them, or physical games, for a whole week, they think Sony's going to reverse their decision. It's dumb. They're not. It's not enough time. Now, if you said, hey, I'm not going to play or buy anything Sony until they reverse it, that's where you make a difference. But nobody's willing to do that. Nobody's willing to do that. Well, thing is, all the GTA 6 leak is nonsense. Yes, it is. It's literally been proven today to be all fake. So people were believing in it. No, it's all fake. Why digital is so bad? Because look at the nonsense happening with GTA 6. Honestly, I'm surprised. We had a first GTA game with GTA 6 coming out in such a long time. and now they choose to go all digital. I feel like GTA 6 should have been physical, and the next GTA after, if they were going to do it, should have been digital. GTA 6 being the new biggest one people are excited for, and making that one all digital before the one after that is crazy to me. Honestly. Because they're still making discs now, so they could have made a disc. It's dumb. It's dumb, but guess what? That didn't stop 2 billion people from buying the game digitally and pre-ordering it, so they made $2 billion in revenue just from pre-orders. That didn't stop people from doing that. So clearly, there's at least 2 billion people out there that ain't worried. They don't care. See what I mean? See what I mean? I bet you some of those people are still the people complaining like we want physical, but you're buying it digitally. Oh, is it because it's GTA and you're really excited to play it? Exactly. The people who really love the new features and the new consoles are going to buy them day one, even if they care about the physical stuff. The people who see, oh, PlayStation 6 is going to have Spider-Man 3, Uncharted 5, Last of Us 3, all these big games, they love physical games too, right? That doesn't mean they're not going to buy the PlayStation 6 and buy those games. Because they're really excited for those series as well. See what I mean? You can't be biased like that. If you really don't like the all-digital, do not buy GTA 6. I don't care how excited you are for it. Do not buy it. That's how PlayStation, that's how Sony is going to learn. You buying it digital, though, just because you're excited for it, but you're still mad at them, ain't going to teach them anything. They're like, oh, you're still mad at us about it, but you're still going to buy our shit if it's something you care about. Exactly. They know that, and that's why they're not worried. If you really want to stick it to them, don't play your console or sell it. Don't buy any games from them. Don't buy Spider-Man Brand New Day when it comes out digitally or physically. Don't buy any Sony PlayStation product until they reverse their decision. But no. Instead, people are like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to take a week off from playing or buying stuff from them. That's not going to change a thing. That's not how you change it. It's not. It doesn't matter if 5 billion people did it. That's not going to make a difference to Sony. They'll wait the week out, and then you'll be back to playing and buying, and they don't care. It's not enough. You just have to stop playing and buying entirely from them until they reverse their decision. And no one is willing to do that. No one is. Like, I've been thinking about getting into PC, but even PC parts are rising. And it's much simpler for me to buy a console than to build a PC. You know, I'm very tech savvy, but it's an inconvenience. I'd rather buy the console and be able to play my games immediately than have to build a PC that might take me like 20-30 minutes. And then I gotta, you know, download all this stuff, set up these RAMs and all the... Fuck that. Fuck that. It's convenience, and it's more convenient to buy a console. I don't care. Plus, I don't really care about these high frame rate, 120 frames per second, you know, refresh rate. I don't care about any of that. I don't. None of that ever mattered to me. I have a gaming PC that is a really well PC. Every game I've been able to buy for the last 5 to 6 years has worked really well on my PC. And if it hasn't, they put out like an update to fix it. So I have it. I have a gaming laptop, and it's worked for every game I've bought, every big AAA game I bought, and small game for the last 5 to 6 years. I'll stick with that. That's easier. Again, a laptop is like a console. You buy it, you just gotta download Steam, and you're ready to play. You're ready. It's so little effort, and that's what I want. I don't want to waste 30 minutes to an hour building a PC, and then another 4 to 5 hours having to download Steam and all these other, company, apps and extra RAMs, extra space. I don't want all that. It's too much effort. I can do it, but I'm not willing to waste the time. So. So it was Tatsugawa that hit Haruka with the car. In fact, actually, to show Sony a lesson, I'm not going to buy a PS6. Because I'm against the digital stuff. So am I, but I'd rather have my games than not have my games. And the PS6 is going to have some good games, so it is what it is. I'm not going to stick with my PS5 and they keep releasing like really fun, good games on the PS6. I'm not going to be left out. I'm not. I want to play these games, and if I have to buy the PS6 to buy them, it is what it is. But I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. I think one person not buying it is not enough. We need a lot of people buying it. Like, not buying it. And I know that's not going to happen. It's just not. There are a lot of casuals out there on Sony, on PlayStation, and they don't care about any of this. They just care that they're able to play their games. If they gotta buy digital, it's fine. I'll buy digital, I'll download it, I'll just buy more space, and I'll play it, I'll delete it, and I'll download another game, I'll buy another game digitally. They don't care. They don't care about the physical like the people that actually like to collect. They don't care. I have a friend out there that buys everything digital. Music, movies, TV shows, games, and I'm like, dude, if the service ever goes down, all the shit you love and enjoy is gone. Gone. You want to watch a movie? Gone. You want to watch a TV show? Gone. You want to play a game? Gone. You want to listen to music? Gone. You want to read a book? Gone. I buy all my books still physically. Any movie or TV show I buy digitally, I buy physically later. I have all my favorites physically. I have like 3 bins full of physical movies and TV shows, including anime. Right now, there's a series that I own all digitally. I'm trying to get it physically, and that's all the Demon Slayer seasons and the movie Demon Slayer. Whatchamacallit? I already forgot what it's called, but the new one, the Infinity Castle. I bought Infinity Castle digital so I could just watch it again. I haven't watched it again. I watched it once in theaters and I really loved it, but I watched it in Japanese, and that's because I didn't know there were English sub theaters, and I was like, fuck. So when it came out digitally in English sub, I bought it, because there's a lot of anime I watch with there's a lot of anime I watch dubbed because it's just more convenient. I like to see the action instead of having to constantly look at the subtitles. So that's why I like English dubbed anime, if it's good. I cannot watch Dragon Ball in Japanese because it doesn't look right, and their screams sound ridiculous to me. But in English, the screams sound more believable, and I like it. There is one character for Dragon Ball Super in English, like, his voice does not fit the character, and that's the, only thing I don't like. But for the most part, I like it. Naruto, I cannot watch in Japanese. I like it in English. But there are some animes that I don't mind watching in Japanese. Demon Slayer I'll watch in Japanese, but I prefer to watch it in English dub. Bleach I'll watch in Japanese, but I prefer it in English dub. So I watch sub in Japanese, but I prefer the English dub. So I was pissed when I'm in the theater watching Infinity Castle, only to find out there was an English dub. I'm like, fuck. So when it came out digitally, I bought the English dub, because I have all the seasons on English dub. And when I buy it physically, it's the same thing. It's going to be the English audio. I'm not doing Japanese. Same thing with My Hero. I could watch it in Japanese, but I think the English dub is better. But there are animes out there that the English dub is horrible, and you can only watch it in Japanese. But yeah, chapter 10 is about to end. I said, Sony will shut. Wait, what? Oh, and like I said, Sony will shut something down. All your games are gone. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why I'm also buying them physically. So if the digital copies are gone, I still got them physically. But with PlayStation 6, if it's all digital, there's nothing you can do about it. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm one of those people that I'll buy a game 3 times. I have a PlayStation 5, a PS4, I have all the consoles, okay? But like the newer consoles, I have a PS5, I have an Xbox Series X. The S is good if you're cheap and you don't have the money, but the X is better. I have the newest Xbox, the newest PlayStation, I have the Switch 2, and I have a PC. If it's available on all the consoles, and I played it on PlayStation, and I loved it, and PlayStation shuts it down and I lose my digital games, I'll just buy it on Xbox. Or I'll buy it on PC. Or if it's available on Nintendo Switch 2, I'll buy it on Switch 2. I do not care. Like, I have no problem double, triple, 4 times dumping like that. I don't have a problem like that. If I like a game, I'll buy it multiple times. Did you read my comment? Yeah, I did. Saying that Sony will actually, you know, shut down all the games? Yeah, let them. If I'm able to buy it somewhere else, I'll just buy it on Xbox, or I'll buy it on Nintendo, or I'll buy it on PC. I don't. So Sony may have me lose it, but I'll buy it somewhere else. I don't care. Yeah, there's Masas though. He's dead too. Like, I don't care. I'll buy it somewhere else. I'll still have my game. I do that anyways when I like a game. Like, look, the Lego Batman. We played it on stream on PlayStation. If they got rid of that game right now, guess what? I got it on Steam. I got it on Xbox because I loved it so much. I bought it on both those consoles as well. The 007. We played that one on stream. If they got rid of that now, guess what? I have it on Steam and on Xbox. I loved it so much. I bought it 2 more times on both different consoles. I do that already. So if they remove a game right now that I own, I'll just buy another console. I don't care. That's what I'm saying. Like, now the only case where that affects me is if it's an exclusive, like, for example, well, no, Last of Us 1 and Last of Us 2 don't work because those are on PC and I own it. But let's say Last of Us 3 was all digital, and I don't know if they're going to bring that to PC. Then, yeah, I probably won't be able to play Last of Us 3 anymore. But there's nothing I can do about it. But at least I got to play it once in my lifetime. So I got to experience the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the point I'm making. Like, I'm not going to just never get to experience that story. As long as I get to experience the story once and get to see how it ends or how it plays out, then they can remove it. Oh well. I still don't like it, but oh well. At least I got to experience the game and the story. That's my point. I'm not just going to never get to experience these new games and new stories. I'm not going to do that. I'm not one of those people. Plus, gaming is what keeps me calm. I have a couple, like, mental disabilities. I'm not going to get into it. If I didn't have games, I would lose my mind. I'm not kidding. Like, gaming keeps me calm and it keeps me balanced in life. If I didn't have gaming, I would go insane. I would probably do a lot of crimes. I would probably do a lot of bad stuff. So, I'm always surrounded by technology and games. So, yeah. So, another reason why I have to buy the PlayStation 6. Or the new Xbox, depending on if the Xbox has exclusives as well, like Halo and shit. I have to. Because I will lose my mind going back and forth, wishing I can play those games, wishing I can experience those stories, and knowing I can't. I would lose my mind. That's also why I buy both consoles on launch, because I never know if Xbox is going to shadow drop a new Halo, a new Gears of War, and it's not going to come to other consoles. And I'm not taking that risk. If they come out with a new game, guess what? I have the new console. I'm not taking that risk. Because of my disabilities, I need coping mechanisms that keep me, you know, safe in a way. Gaming is my biggest one. Gaming and music and my anime. Those 3 things saved me and made me the person I am today. If I lost the ability to buy anime, whether it's movies or books, If I lost the ability to buy games, if I lost the ability to listen to new music or buy music, I would literally go insane. I'm not kidding. I would end up in a mental hospital. It might sound crazy, but I don't care. I'm not going to go insane. I'm going to keep buying my music, keep buying my movies, my TV shows, my books, and my games, because that's what keeps me sane. It's what keeps me calm in this fucked up world, and I'm not gonna lose that. Oh, because they want to go all digital, I'm just not gonna play these new games. Fuck that. No, I'm not. I'm still gonna play them. Because if I don't, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I'm not doing that. Now, for all those people who are willing to just say, I'm not playing Sony anymore, cool. More power to you. I cannot do it. Literally, I cannot. I will go insane. So, it is what it is. That's why I don't. Because people are like, oh, like you've been off your games for a week. No, I haven't. If I'm off my game for 3 hours, I'm losing my mind. Like, I have to put it into perspective. If I'm just, like, when I'm sick and I'm sitting in bed and I literally can't do nothing, I cry the whole day. Not just because I'm sick and I'm in pain and I don't feel well, but because I can't even sit up to play a game. You know? It is literally like torturing me to not let me, you know, play my games. I can't do it. I can't. So, I'm sorry, but I will be picking up a PS6 on launch, and I will be playing digital games. It is what it is. I can't not do it. I will lose my mind. I can't. It is what it is. But anyone who wants to do it, more power to you. Just don't complain when you're missing out on something. It is what it is. Not everyone is the same, and for me, if I didn't have games, I would be a worse person than what I am now. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it to myself. I'm not going to mess up my mental health like that. I need to buy it, so I'm sorry. What are we on, 11? Yeah, I know where we're going. I know how chapter 11 ends. I got a little personal, but that's all you're getting. I'm not gonna go deeper than that. I don't really like talking about my personal thing, but in this instance, it's the only way to explain why I can't do what everyone wants to do. I just can't. Hope you don't think I'm insane for saying this. Video games also help me be sane. But the big thing is my car that helps me cope the most. I don't think you're insane for that, but you know, everyone has their one thing. Like I said, for me, it's games, it's my anime, and it's my music. Music is a huge thing. I don't think I mentioned this on stream, but I'll mention it because it's a big thing for me. And I still hope, like a part of me still hopes this happens one day, but I'm not gonna hold my hopes out too much, but if it did happen, I would be literally crying with joy. There was a point in my life where I was gonna be a pro singer. Like, I wanted to be a professional singer. I love singing. I love music. There was a time in my life where I had really a lot of bad stuff happening to me. A lot. There was nothing good. And I was in a dark place. Music saved my life. Particularly one artist changed my way of thinking. And don't worry, when we go to the Patreon, you'll see what I mean. His music is really good. I'm gonna play a ton of his music to the point where it looks like, oh, like I'm obsessed with this guy. And I kind of am. I have 3 of his songs tattooed on me. I have his name tattooed on me. It's crazy. But I love his music. He literally, in that moment, he changed my life in a different direction. He gave me a different purpose for thinking on life. And I thank him every day for it. But I love his music, okay? And if it wasn't for him in that moment, if it wasn't for that music in that moment, I don't know where I would have been today. I don't know. So, and I was like, what, in middle school? It's crazy, I know, because you're like, oh, you're a kid. Like, really? Like, yeah, really. It doesn't matter if I was a kid. I was in a very dark spot, and he saved me, okay? So, yeah. And that's when I started falling in love with music, and I was inspired by him. Because he was just a small guy, like a small singer. He wasn't like on the charts or nothing. He just, you know, like how people will make SoundCloud music to get big, to then become like real musicians and stuff like that. He was kind of like that, but he didn't do SoundCloud. He saved them and only shared them between him and his friends. And then eventually, when YouTube became a thing, he took a risk and he started recording some of his music for YouTube, so that he could possibly blow up and become a professional singer. And then when it happened, I was so happy for him. I'm not going to say who he is. I'm definitely gatekeeping this artist for now. But best believe you're going to hear a ton of him when we do the Patreon and we start listening to music reactions with new songs and stuff, and old songs. Yeah, I'm going to play a lot of his music and react to it, because his music is amazing in every way. And I think, depending on the song, everyone can relate to at least one of his songs, because they all deal with what a lot of people deal with. So, yeah, it's crazy. So I think we're gonna go back to Kamurocho, but we're gonna go fill them in and let them know what's going on. But yeah, so really excited to see what happens with that. Like, I love singing. I sing on my own. I sing in the shower. I know that's a cliche thing to do, but I do sing in the shower, and I sing in public when they're playing like a music on the speakers of the radio that I know. I'll like sing along, like not very loud, but lowly around the people I'm hanging with, and that's just because I love the music, right? I love singing. It's a big passion of mine. Everyone, including my family, for the most part, say I'm pretty good. I was in choir in middle school and elementary school for 4th and 5th grade, in high school for freshman and sophomore year. I was in band for 1 year. I love music and how it's made. And he is smart. He's written songs for people that have become #1 top chart numbers. He wrote a song, it didn't work for him, he gave it to somebody else, and they made #1 with it. You know, he knows, he has this thing called perfect pitch, so he knows you can play a sound and he already knows what note it is, what pitch it is, he's so freaking good. I love him as an artist, a musician, a writer, I love it. So yeah, and I love singing. So like, if someday somebody heard me singing and said, "Hey man, I want to make you a pro singer. Would you be up for that?" Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It was like my #1 dream before I got into gaming. I don't honestly care. Sometimes if I obsess over my car, it is what makes me truly happy, and that is all that matters. If something out there, it doesn't matter what it is, it could be a person or it could be an object, or it could be an animal, right? If it makes you happy, hold on tight to that. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if somebody says, "I won't date you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to do this." Hold on tight to it. Screw what that person says. If they say like it's either me or that thing, dump them. Leave them. Something that truly makes you happy is worth more than anything in the world. Keep that. That is a big part of you. Taking that away, you'll lose a big part of yourself. Never let that go. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I said, it could be an animal, a person, an object. For me, it's my wife. It's my 2 cats. It's my game. It's my music. It's all my things around me. Hell, one of my shirts the other day got ripped really badly. It was an anime shirt. I was angry for like 4 hours. It was bad. And it was late at night, so it was even more bad. I don't play with the stuff that means so much to me. And I don't know if I can buy that shirt anymore. I don't know where to get the shirt. So like, I'm even more mad about that. I'm like, oh, I have to figure out how to stitch that shirt up. It was very personal to me. And it was hard having it rip really badly. So I was like, so angry and sad, you know? I don't play with that. If somebody was to come in and steal a Yu-Gi-Oh card from me, I'd have to beat their ass. I'd have to literally beat them to a pulp. Because that's my shit. I don't play with that. You know, I had a friend, he used to come over all the time, and he wouldn't even ask me, like, "Hey, do you have any drinks? Can I get a drink?" he would just go in my fridge, not asking for permission, and take whatever he wanted. Whether it's food or a drink, and sometimes he'd take like my good drinks, like my G Fuel drinks, which I don't play with, or my Monsters, my energy drinks, which I don't play with, or my favorite sodas, which are Mountain Dew. And I would sometimes I would tell him ahead of time. I'd be like, I don't really have a lot. You brought money, so if you want, we can go to the store. I can get you some. He's like, yeah, but you got some here, so why am I gonna go to the store? And he'd go into the fridge and he'd take one. I would tell my fiance, and she'd be like, dude, like, he has to ask for permission. Like, if you want to share, that's fine. But if you tell him basically what I told him, like, I don't have it a lot, which means no, I don't want to give you one. Let's go to the store, and he doesn't respect that, then that's a problem. And I was just trying to be friendly, so I let it happen. But then there was a point where he drank like 12 drinks in one day. He was here for like 4 hours. 12 drinks in one day out of my fridge without asking. I was pissed. I told him, like, dude, you just can't do that anymore. Like, these are my drinks, and sometimes they're not mine, they're my fiance's. I can't have you just go in my fridge and take a drink. If I tell you I don't have enough drinks, you can't touch them. And if you bring money, why do you want my drink? Get yourself a drink. Why do you want my food? Get yourself some food. Why did you bring money? Huh? If you weren't gonna buy anything for yourself. And you know, sometimes you're drinking or eating my fiance's stuff, and I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. And that's not just with her. I don't like it with me either. And you're not asking. Like, this isn't your house. This is my house. Like, you gotta ask for permission. Like, you can't just go into my... That's like just coming up. Like, I put my controller down to go to the restroom, and you come up, you take that controller, you just start playing. Did I tell you to do that? Did I tell you to touch my controller? Did I tell you to play my game? No, I didn't. Like, you didn't even ask. You just took it. Like, it's so disrespectful to go into someone's house that isn't yours and act that way. And after the day he drank like 12 drinks, I was pissed. So I just basically told him off on all this. And he was like, dude, well, like, you should have told me not to touch it. And I'm like, me telling you I don't have enough, let's get to the store, is telling you no. If I wanted to share with you, I'd be like, I mean, I don't have enough, but I mean, like, you can go take one or two. I didn't. I said, let's go to the store. Meaning, what I have here is not for you. Let's go to the store so you can get some. And sometimes I didn't expect him to pay. Sometimes I'm like, let's go to the store and I will buy you some. No, he just wanted the ones I had here. So I was pissed. And I told him off. And he didn't like that. He hasn't come around since. So because I didn't let him walk over me, he would rather me let him walk over me, but because I told him off and I refused to let him walk over me, he doesn't want to come over anymore. Like, it's so rude and disrespectful. I'm sure there are some people that would be like that to me. It's just a car. Why do you obsess over it? It's just transport. Yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying, though. People don't get it. Those people don't get it. As long as it makes you happy, as long as you get it and you care about it, that's all that matters. Who cares what anyone else thinks? Honestly.
Yuta.
He's gone, bro. Damn, it's a Sony phone. Speaking of Sony, it's a Sony phone. Yeah, he went to Little Asia alone. That's what Yuta would do. Alright, let's go. So, the chapter ends when we go to Little Asia and we have a fight. We have a little cutscene. Chapter ends. So, when we get there, we'll end it.
我来见我老子。如果他不在，我可以等。
把两手张开。
别碰我！现在的我，没酒就没法子跟老爹说话。
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yo, クソ親父。一杯付き合えよ。
What the hell? I just saw that comic. That's so random. But wait. Hey, so if I was ever in your house and began playing your games, but I said, do you mind if I play? How would you react? You asked, right? You asked, do you mind if I play? He never asked. He just took my controller and he would just play. Like, he acted like it was his house. And I know some people will be like, hey, treat your house like it's your own. Like, treat my house like it's your own. But they don't mean just go in my fridge. They don't mean go in my fridge and eat and drink everything. Especially if I say, no, don't touch that. You know, they don't mean like, hey, you know, touch all my electronics and take my game like you're gonna borrow it without asking if you can. They don't mean that. They just mean like, hey, look, get comfy. You know, if you want a drink, I got it. You know, you can grab one, not 12. You know, that's what they mean. He took that to a literal sense, where he would touch my cats, even if I said one of my cats is very nervous, so she doesn't like new strangers. He didn't care. He didn't care. I would be like, yeah, the drinks I have in there gotta last me the rest of the month. I don't have a lot. Let's go to the store. He didn't care. He just went in there and took my drinks. If I said, that's not mine, you can't touch that, he's like, oh, wow, it's okay. I won't eat a lot. But he still ate it. Like, dude, I just said it's not mine, don't touch it. Like, he didn't care. It was just he was disrespectful. He didn't know boundaries. He didn't even know how to ask. Like, it would be better, at least, I still wouldn't want him to drink 12 of my drinks, but at least if he asked, yo, can I get at least one? I'm telling you right now, if you ask me, can I at least have one, and I said I don't have a lot of drinks, I would 100%, I'm a nice guy. I would be like, yeah, you can take one. It's okay, I don't have a lot, but, you know, I don't have like 2, so yeah, you can take one. But he didn't ask, he just took. Like, it was his own house, his own fridge, his own drinks. It was rude and disrespectful. And at some point I had a problem. And that point was when he drank like 12 of my drinks, bro. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, and then like I said, he started eating and drinking my fiance's stuff, which I had a problem with. I wouldn't even eat or drink her stuff. It's just rude, man. Entitled and disrespectful. This isn't your house. There would be times where, like, we would set plans, like, a lot of my friends, we usually set plans before we go over to each other's places or stuff. And I'd be like, hey, like, what do you want to do? And he's like, oh, can we play some games and maybe watch a movie? I'll be like, okay. We'll literally figure out the movie. We'll figure out the games we're going to play. I'll download them if I don't got them downloaded. And there we go. The food we eat, usually I don't have a lot of food here that people like. Like, I'll just have bread and sandwiches because it's cheap. So if I ever want something, like, good, I'll order it for myself or my fiance. So usually when friends come over, we split it all 3 ways. Usually my fiance and me will, like, pitch in some money towards the food and drinks, and then the friend that comes over will also do it. Especially if they want different food and drinks, they'll pitch in some money too. So we all always share the responsibility. and we agree on that before the meetup, so there isn't like a, oh, you didn't tell me I was gonna have to buy my own shit. We come to agreement days before the plans are set. Like my family gathering for Tuesday. It's been set since last week on Thursday. And it's supposed to be on Tuesday. It's been set since Thursday. In fact, 2 weeks ago when they came, we already set the date, we set like the food we were gonna get, and a couple of the games. So we already like set up like our plans days ahead. So there was no confusion, so there's no person complaining or cranky, and we set it up. And as the days go on, we continue talking about it. We continue to make sure that that's what we still want to do. And yeah, it is. So there's no confusion. There's no reason anyone should get mad or confused because we've been had these plans. And I did the same thing with him. I'd be like, hey, what do you want to do? He's like, oh, we could just play some games, or maybe watch like a movie or a cool TV show or something. I'm like, okay. And we'd come up with the TV show, or we'd at least get the genre or something. But for like the games and the food, we would already talk about that, especially the food. He already knows because I've told him. I've hanged out with other people. I'm like, this is what I do normally. You know, I make the plans. Are you okay with that? And he's like, yeah, that actually makes more sense. So that when we all hang out, we don't really have to figure out a plan. We already know what we're gonna do. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I started doing the same thing with him. I started making plans and stuff. And every time he'd come over, he'd be like, what are we doing? I'm like, dude, we already set plans. And he's like, yeah, but now that I'm here, I feel like I want to do something different. I'm like, no, that's the whole point of a plan, so we don't feel that way, or we don't do that. Like, he was just not understanding. And I mean, like, even though that was a hassle, I could get past that and be like, okay, let's see what we could do. But like, every time there was a game, and I'm just gonna give you an idea so you can like literally see why, like, I wasn't in the wrong and this person was. There was a moment where there was a day where we set a plan for some games that we both could play, right? And we were gonna play them, and as soon as I go to my library to boot up the game, he sees I have a game that he hasn't played. It's a single player game, by the way. And I was like, hey man, when you get home, just let me know. I don't mind doing this with my close friends that I know, because I know it's really hard for people, and you know, gaming is getting more expensive, so I'm like, hey man, I'll give you my password and my email to my account, you know, and you can play any games that I own on your PlayStation or whatever, or Xbox or Steam, whatever they got, or Nintendo. Just don't charge anything on my card. And they're like, okay, cool. I've had a lot of friends that are good with this, so I never had a problem. Recently, in the last like 2-3 years, I had one friend that screwed me, and he charged like $300 on my account for boring, stupid kid games and like Robux and just useless shit. So I disputed it with my card. I got the money back, but I stopped, so he wasn't able to access my account anymore. He's like, dude, can you share your account? It's not working. Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, dude, you charged $300 on my account. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, like, I was gonna tell you at some point. What is some point? Do you actually expect me to believe if I never figured it out, you were gonna tell me? No, I don't believe that. So, I was pissed. And he's like, well, I mean, I'll pay you back anyways. Like, it's gonna take me a long time, but I'll pay you back. And I'm like, no. The only way this is okay if you pay me back now. If you pay me back now, I'll enable the account and you can use it. That money wasn't meant to be spent, or else I would have bought myself some games. Like, it wasn't meant to be spent. Just because it's there doesn't mean I'm supposed to spend it, right? So I was pissed, and he's like, well, you know, I didn't have that money to spend. I had $20, so that's why I charged the money. And I'm like, but that's not your phone. I mean, that's not your card. Oh my god. And it's not your money to spend. And he's like, I'll pay you back. And, you know, I'm like, pay me back now. Or no. because that's a lot of money. That's not like $20 you wasted that I'm like, yeah, you know what, pay me back in a week or a couple weeks when you get paid, that's fine. No, that is $300-400, and that is not cheap. Give it back now. And he's like, I don't got it. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't use my account anymore. And I already refuted the money with my bank, so they should be refunding me. So no, I'm not, no. And he was pissed, and I'm like, I'm pissed. You spent $300 of my money. You wouldn't have liked it if I did it to you. So there was that. And then I've had no problem with all the other friends, including him. But he didn't want to do that. He's like, nah, man, my PlayStation's not working right now. Later on, I saw him online, so I know that was bullshit. He came, basically, long story short, he came over just to play a single-player game in my house. One that we could also take turns on, like he could do one mission, I can do one mission. He refused. He wanted to sit in my house, drink all my drinks, eat all my food, and literally just play a single-player game while I'm watching. There's a lot of single-player games I love. I will not play them while my friends are around. I'm like, my friends are here, my family's here. I'll play a game where we can all play. No, he wanted to play a game where only he could play and I would have to watch. Just so entitled, so rude, so disrespectful, acted like this was his place. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So, and then I remember how I said I told him off about all the drinks and stuff and how he needs to ask, and he didn't like that. And again, he hasn't came around since. That's on him. That's on him. If me setting boundaries and being a reasonable person is a problem to you, then I guess it's a problem. Then I'm not the problem, you are. Because I was being nice, but you took advantage of that. I know that was random. I was going off the story you told me earlier. If it was me or your house, I'd be super nice and respectful. See, and that's all I ask. I feel like if you're going into someone's house that isn't yours, that's what everyone wants. They're like, hey man, it's not your house, can you just be nice and respectful? 100%. I do the same thing whenever I go visit my cousins and stuff. Like, sometimes their houses are dirty, but I'm not rude. I'm not being like, damn, you live like a slob. Like, I'm not rude. I'll be like, hey man, you know, you can clean up once in a while. That's more nicer. Or, hey, do you need help cleaning up? Like, it's friendly, right? I'm always respectful when I go over to people. I'm like, hey, do you got some drinks I can drink? They're like, yeah. Or they'll be like, oh, I just got water, man. I'm like, hey, do you think we can go to the store then? I'll pick me up some drinks. I didn't know. And they'll be like, yeah. They're nice about it, right? And I'm respectful enough that they're like, yeah, totally, let's do that. Or I'll be like, oh, I don't really expect them to buy food for me sometimes, so I'll be like, hey man, do you got food? And if not, do you think I can like order pizza or something? He's like, oh shit, no, I don't really have a lot of food. And don't worry about ordering it, I got it. I'll order the pizza or whatever, like, or whatever you want. Like, tell me what you want and I'll order it, and if I don't want the same thing, I'll just order something for myself. Like, they were just respectful and nice, because I was respectful and nice the same way. That's all you have to do. That's all it takes. But if one of the people is rude or disrespectful, that's where the problem comes in. So, you know, in this case it was him, and it became a problem because it kept happening every time he came over. So I was just like, well, I mean, I liked hanging with him when we never hung at the house. I loved hanging out with him and stuff like that. But then once they started bringing him around, he made it seem like everything was his. So, and that became a problem. But yeah, if you came over and you were nice and respectful, 100%. I don't have a problem with that. I love that. I respect that. But if you just came in and you just started acting like this whole house was yours, that's a problem. Because like one time he got scratched. My cat is my boy cat too is very nervous. I have a friend that's been coming over for like the last month. And every time he sees him, he runs or he hides. He's scared. Because it's a new person, right? That he's not used to seeing. Whereas my other friends, you know, he sees them all the time. So he has no problem being around them, sleeping around them and stuff like that. Well, he's new. And he's been very respectful of my cat. He's like, oh, I'll give him space. But when my cat gets close, he'll be like, here you go. Hi, buddy. He'll give him treats. He'll be nice. And then when I'm able to hold my cat, he pets my cat, and my cat doesn't get scared. He's like, oh, he's being nice, he's being friendly, he's petting me. But you have to give him time because he's a nervous cat, you know? He doesn't like change with new people. Well, my other friend just kept petting, and I'm like, hey, be careful, he's a nervous cat. He might scratch you if you don't stop. And he eventually scratched him. And he was pissed, and I'm like, I told you he's nervous. Like, you're constantly trying to chase him around and pet him. Like, don't do that. So it was like his fault, but he blamed it on my cat. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
俺はここを死に場所と決めたんですよ。男が腹くくって考えに考えて覚悟して今ここにいるんだ。たとえ兄貴にだってそれを止めるなんてできるもんじゃねえ。
命の価値を自分勝手に決めてんじゃねえ。
いや。
一発の口を聞くな。
This is the fight I was talking about. I love this fight. The graphics from the fire in the background, the emotion that had to be done between this fight. Kiryu fighting the father of Haruka, or fighting the father of Haruka's baby, which should be her husband or boyfriend or whatever. Like, just knocking sense into him. You know, saying like Haruka needs you, the baby needs you. Like, so emotional. Also wanting to kill his real father because he wants to shed his evil past. All of this emotional. The background with the fire and the emotion between their punches and why they're fighting. This moment right here, which is awesome. Kiryu literally has a piece of wood on him with fire. What a badass. Like, it's so fucking... It's one of my favorite fights in this entire game. It's so good. This game is so great, man. And the story was like 3 stories put together. And I know when most things are like, oh, that's too many stories, that it's hard to tell a good story off of that. I'm sorry, this game did it well. I was not expecting it to the 3 stories that come together and actually be really good. Come on, Utah. Got him. Alright, now there's gonna be a cutscene and the chapter is gonna end. But yeah, that's all I ask. When I bring people over, I usually expect them to be nice with like common courtesy and respectful and stuff like that. You know, and ask for stuff if they need help or questions or something. But he didn't do that. And well, that ultimately led into like an issue. And I feel like that should be common courtesy for people, but it just wasn't for him. So it became a whole big issue.
皮肉だな。最妖怪の血の掟が息子を私への最悪の死角へと変えてしまった。
ふざけたことを言うな。あんたがこいつをどの面下げて息子と呼べる。
その通りだな。我々最妖怪は血の結束を過信して。
Funny, if that was me, I'd again try to be respectful because I love animals. Well, he does too, but I think he just didn't understand boundaries. To be fair, and this isn't really me like defending him, but his parents didn't grow him up right. In fact, they were very rude and disrespectful and abusive to him. And manipulative to him. But still, he was an adult, he was smart enough to know. And if he respected me as a friend, he wouldn't have done half the shit he did. So, like, even though he had shit going on, like, at the same time, it's no excuse. But I just felt like I had to say that because, like, again, it's the same example that a lot of people say where, like, a kid isn't always bad. It's, like, the parents that don't take care of them, don't teach them stuff that is the reason why they end up how they end up. And I don't really think his parents taught him shit, so he didn't know the difference, right? So I'm always gonna try and be nice and kind to a cat. Yeah, well, he wasn't like that. God forbid. Okay, God forbid I had my dog here. My old dog that I don't have anymore, but if I had it and he still lived with me, it would have been a way bigger situation. That dog, when he sees me not liking something, or when he sees me frustrated or something, and especially if it's the cause of somebody else, like if it was my family, he would bark at them or growl at them and act like he's gonna bite them, but he wouldn't. If it's like a friend that I'm really close with, he would just like nudge them to kind of like push them to leave me alone. Or if it was like someone he didn't know well, that I was probably friends with for a long time, but he just didn't know, he would literally attack. Not like attack them, but he would get very angry and vicious to the point where he's like warning them, like, stop. If my dog was here and he acted that way with the drinks after I just said no and I visibly got like frustrated, my dog would have sensed it and he would have immediately done something about it. He would have been angry, he would have growled at him, he wouldn't have let him get to the fridge again. Like, there would have been a huge problem. And that would have been his fault because he's not able to take a hint or be respectful or anything. But it would have been a bigger situation. And I'm grateful that he wasn't around when my dog was, because that would have been a huge problem. For him. Not for me, but for him. But yeah, my dog did it out of love. He was a very loving animal. So I know he always meant to look after me. Here we go. Now this is going to be important for the next chapter.
あんたもおじいちゃんなんだ。孫の顔を一目見たいだろうと思って連れてきてやったよ。
あなたの目的は私に孫を見せることじゃないだろう。尾道の秘密の件では。
話が早くていいね。本当はあんたを殺しちゃ手っ取り早くて済むんだけどな。でもうちのクルス会長はあんたらが日本を撤退すりゃそれでいいってさ。あの人も俺ももう血は見飽きてんだ。
我々採用会はすでにアジア外に莫大な投資を済ませている。だがその回収はまだ済んでない。
撤退する気はねえってことか。
そして何よりクルスの息子は我々の後継者であるジミー・ローを殺した。ビジネスとしても人の親としても私にはあなた方の要求を聞く道理がない。
そう言うと思ってね。あんたにはいい条件持ってきたよ。
なんだ、その赤ん坊を目の前で殺すとでも言うのか。
宇佐美雄太をあんたにくれてやる。あいつには採用会の後継者になるよう俺から説得してやる。それでどうだ。この条件で飲めねえっつんなら雄太に全部話しちまうけどな。この赤ん坊があいつの子であんたがそれを始末しようとしてることも全部さ。そうなりゃあいつはあんたの後継者には死んでもならない。あんたらの組織が一番大事にしている血のつながりが途絶えてしまうな。それでもいいかい。
その赤ん坊はどうする。
俺が面倒見させてもらうよ。永遠にこの子の存在は雄太から隠し通してやる。
私としてはここで赤ん坊もろともあなたの口を封じるという手もある。
And I should know because I had a cat in my childhood. Well, that's good. At least you're more respectful than a lot of other people.
それは大げさだ。そばに控えている部下たちは全員銃を持っている。
俺にできねえと思うか。
クルスのもとにまだあなたのような男がいたとはな。
俺の隠れ家の周りでうろついてるあんたの手下な、達川と松添、すぐ引き上げさせろよ。それと採用会のカムロ町撤退には一月だけ時間やる。尾道の秘密はさ、あれ守るために俺何人もぶっ殺してきたんだ。そんな中には俺を可愛がってくれた兄貴分もいてね。もしあんたに秘密ばらされたら兄貴たちが浮かばれねえんだよ。
傍から見れば不思議に見えただろう。私は100人を超える部下に守られながら、たった一人の老人を相手にその要求を丸飲みさせられた。広瀬との交渉を終えた私は、まず舛添と達川へ出していた赤ん坊の殺害命令を撤回しようとした。だがすでに石見恒夫へ寝返っていた達川は連絡を絶ち、そしてカムロ町のあのひき逃げ事故が起きた。
Damn.
赤ん坊は広瀬の手を離れ、広瀬は自分が我々への交渉材料を失ったと感じたはずだ。そうなると尾道の秘密を守るためにあの男が取るべき道は私の殺害以外にない。
それで広瀬の親分が雄太をあんたに差し向けた。
I had a cat growing up. Her name was Lefty. Was that Lefty off of the FNAF character, Lefty?
あなた方に赤ん坊が雄太の子供だと告げたのは誰だ？
宇佐美雄太。
舛添や達川が赤ん坊の命を狙ったことを明かしたのは、そしておそらく殺されたという舛添は広瀬にとって用済みだったんだろうな。
そしてその秘密をあの老人が独占していることにこそ広島の力の根源が。
Now you know, Hirose was behind it all.
極道が長生きをするといろいろなものに縛られる。私は組織の血の掟、そしてクルスと広瀬は尾道の秘密。そのために広瀬は自分の組の子分だった雄太を捨て駒にするまでになり下がった。
信じられるかよ、そんなこと。おやっさんがそんなバカな。
それを確かめる方法が一つだけあ
る。なんだ？
尾道の秘密を暴くこと。広島の老人たちはそれを阻止するために本性を表すはずだ。ただしもしあなた方にそれを目の当たりにする覚悟があるならの話だがな。
There's chapter 11. Alright, we're not going to stop immediately. I'm going to do a little bit of prep. I just realized that Tuesday I have like the morning that I could finish this. And tomorrow I don't want to stream at like 4 or 5 because it's a little late. Even though I could. I do think it's going to take maybe 2 or like 3 hours. Because it took us like 2 or 3 hours to do 3 chapters. Now we're going to be doing 2 chapters. We're now on chapter 12. So we have chapter 12 and then the finale, so that's 2 chapters. I do think that
70年守り続けてきた秘密が今になってさらされるわけですか。
尾道の秘密は私の血であり肉であった男たちの犠牲の上に守られてきた。そうだろう。そしてこの先も守り続けるためにはまた新しい犠牲が必要になった。やってくれるか、広瀬。
But yeah, so like I was saying, tomorrow is a little late when I get back. It's not too late, I could do it, but I just want, I think the earlier works for me, because if I try tomorrow that late and it's like a case of what happened yesterday with the internet, then that's going to be a problem. But I think I will have time on Tuesday. I have a family thing going on, but I have the morning. So I could like wake up how I normally wake up at 9 or 10 and then just waste like 2 hours or 3 hours and just finish it before the family thing happens. I think that's a better idea. So Tuesday morning is when I'll finish this. And depending on where your guys' time zone in, it'll be morning for me, but it'll be like afternoon for you guys. So
你们必须今天道别。
为什么？
因为这孩子只是我们狼家的保险。听好了，吉米，你要好好记住，这是我们领导祭王会。
I also had another cat. Unfortunately, it got an incurable spinal disease. Oh no, that's sad.
也必须舍去。
您说什么？
你要记住，只有你是我的儿子。
老弟。喂，老弟，你在听吗？为什么不准我们进出日本？你只要准我和 Ed 去，我们现在就能把那些被暴队法给绑紧的日本黑帮一网打尽。老弟，你给我个机会吧。
你还没完吗？不行就是不行，祭王会不可侵犯日本。我们已经同意阳明联合会了。
难道跟日本下一个小小组织的约定， 会比咱们自己组织的发展更重要吗？
对，就是那么重要。你难道不懂对组织首领的礼貌吗？
老爹，不，老大，你也知道现在计万会的状况很苦，警察到处检举贪污罪，咱们已经无法在中国国内赚钱了。但计万会从以前就把黑孩子给送进日本，现在都已经打好打进日本的底子了，为什么不动手？给我个机会吧，老爹，我绝对可以支配东京。
你怎么支配？东京有个东城会守着，就算报对法绑紧了他们，那群黑帮不会白白的把他们的领地给你。
那咱们再利用阳明联合会就好。只要利用那叫什么的伪道的秘密来强迫克鲁斯听话就没事了。你把那秘密告诉我，我再来让克鲁斯把我跟艾带进神视亭里。到这地步，我们就能简单的掌握那条街。
太短见了，克鲁斯哪会那么简单听你的？
他当然听我的。连接受黑孩子这种没利益的事，他都做这么久了，那伪道的秘密对他来说就是那么重要，不对吗？我小时你跟我说过，为了维护组织，就算是自己的亲骨肉也必须舍去。
吉米，
现在就是舍去阳明联合会的时候，给我个机会，告诉我伪道的秘密是什么吧，老爹。
我的确必须告诉你一个秘密。
什么？
我们已不能用伪道的秘密来威胁库鲁斯，因为我
お前が治療してくれたのか。
親切心じゃねえよ。目の前で死なれちゃ気分悪いからな。それだけだ。
そうか。
兄貴、ローが気がつきました。
All right. Yeah. So he's got a story to finish. We are. What time is it? All right. Yeah. We'll hear one more cutscene.
大丈夫か、ロー。
世話をかけたようだ。
We'll hear him finish his story because his story will lead to us heading back to the other city. And then when we head back, we'll save.
なあ。
待った。その前に一つだけ。俺はデカだ。あんたの話に犯罪に関わることがあれば見逃せない。それについてはお前もだ、桐生。分かってるな。
伊達さんは伊達さんの判断で動いてくれて構わない。俺もローも無条件に従う。ロー、あんたもそれでいいな。
今さら何かを隠し立てして逃げ延びようとは思っていない。
分かった。
それじゃあロー、あんたたち採用会が日本に来た経緯、そして東上会との抗争の理由、そしてその根底にある 尾道の秘密とは一体何なのか教えてくれ。
まず尾道の秘密についてだが、私はその真相を知らない。
なんだって、それじゃ話がめちゃくちゃじゃねえか。兄貴、やっぱこんな男信用しちゃいけませんよ。広瀬のおやつさんはめようとして話でっち上げようとしてんだ。
落ち着け、雄太。話を続けてくれ。
尾道の秘密とは、西洋界の先代である私の父親とクルス・タケルとの間でやり取りされたある計画のことを指す。
ある計画？
日本が世界を相手に戦争してた頃のものだ。おそらく軍事機密に関わる何かしらの計画なのだと思う。
その頃まだ陽明連合会は存在していない。つまり石見造船と先代の西洋会とで何かの取引があったっていうことか。
そういうことになる。そして私が初めて尾道の秘密の存在を知ったのは1985年。父は死ぬ直前、それがクルスのアキレス腱となる代物だと話していたが、具体的な内容までは明かさなかった。ただ父の死後、私の手元にはその秘密を解く鍵となるものだけが残された。
鍵となるもの？何なんだそりゃ。
尾道のある場所を示す暗号らしい。あいにくあれから30年経った今も、私にはそれを解読できていない。
30年前か。俺が東上界に入った頃の話だな。
この日本という国が空前絶後の好景気に沸き、表社会も裏社会もこの世の春を謳歌していた時代だ。その頃には石見平三もクルス・タケルというもう一つの顔を持ち、石見造船会長という表の顔、陽明連合会会長という裏の顔、二つの顔を使い分けることでフィクサーとしての地位を確立していた。
確か陽明連合会が急速に力を持ったのは戦後すぐのことだ。もしかするとその尾道の秘密ってやつが原因でクルスは裏社会に足を踏み入れたってことか。
クルスがなぜ裏社会に足を踏み入れたのかは私にはわからない。だが石見造船という大企業の会長が極道組織の会長であるという事実を知る人間はほとんどいない。私はその事実と父から聞いた尾道の秘密の存在をちらつかせ、とある裏取引をクルスに持ちかけたのだ。
それが平ハイツの密航、そして架空の戸籍を与えるヒューマンロンダリングだな。
ああ、そうだ。中国という国家
I don't have cats anymore. They both passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. That is actually very sad. Yeah. One of my cats, the girl, she's 6 years old, so she is getting old. And every day my fiance thinks about that, she's sad. She starts crying because she's like, she's getting older and older. I don't know when she's gonna go. And it's sad. And then the boy we have, he will be, I think he's like a year and a half. He'll be 2 years old in March of next year. The end of March 20th. So, yeah.
私たちだけが唯一の救い主だったはずだ。
分かったよ。で、そこにクルスがどう絡んでくる？
造船業という密入国に最適な密航ルートを持ち、その上日本の国家権力を裏から意のままに操れる人間、クルス・タケルは私のヒューマンロンダリング計画にとって必要不可欠な人間だった。
クルスは密入国に手を貸し、平ハイツの日本人の戸籍を与えた。かなりのリスクがあったはずだ。
それだけ尾道の秘密を守ることがクルスにとっては重要だったということだろう。だがとにかく 私の思惑通りに取引は成立した。以来私は中国本土で西洋界に日本不可侵の命令を出し、クルスとの無駄な接触を避けるようにした。私が尾道の秘密の核心を知らないと気づかせるわけにはいかないのでな。
じゃあどうして今になってあんたらは日本にやってきた？1年前のアジア街の大火事、あれは東上会があんたらを引き込むために起こしたんだろう。知らないとは言わせねえぞ。
全てはクルスタケルの息子岩見恒夫が仕組んだことだ。あの男は密かに私の息子ジミー・ローと手を結び、東上界の菅井をも巻き込んで西洋界に日本進出を求めてきた。
Oh, that's the beginning of the game.
どうですか？いい眺めでしょう。あの炎の大きさが私の誠意だとお受け取りいただきたい。それじゃあ我々とあなた方の永遠の絆と繁栄を意識して
That he's talking to and who they
乾杯して
are.
もよろしいですか？
We already know who it is, but now we get to see who they are.
ローさん、我々がここまでこぎつけたのはこのジミーのおかげです。あなたはいい後継者をお持ちだ。
岩見社長、父はめったなことでは私を褒めてはくれません。ですが今日は期待していいと思っています。
No. You went behind his back and he didn't want this.
老弟，现在燃烧的那区域是亚细亚街，从今天起就是祭望会的领地了。
儿子，你也太放肆了吧！
啥？
我什么时候说过我要进出审视厅的？我只有说过不准接近库鲁斯在的日本，也把理由告诉你了。
どうかしましたか？
这次的事全部给我撤回。站起来，我们走。
岩見社長、お父上によろしくお伝えください。私たちはそろそろ失礼します。
お待ちください、総帥。
何か？
この件についてはジミーと私とで進めてきました。父のクルスは一切関知していません。それともう一つ。
您无法拒绝这个要求。
あなたも人が悪い。中国語が堪能とは知らなかった。だが私にこの話を断れないというのはどういう理由でだ？
尾道の秘密ですよ。あなたはあの秘密の核心を知らないですよね。ご子息と先日食事をさせていただいた時です。酔った彼はご機嫌でこう言ってましたよ。親父は知りもしない秘密でクルスを脅し、そのハッタリがバレることにビビっていると何度も何度もね。
お前
酒で口が軽くなる人間というのは非常に扱いやすい。
クルスには知られてない。大丈夫だ。
採用会がなぜ日本不可侵などと言っているのか、それはあなたが秘密の核心を知らないとクルスタケルに気づかせたくないからだ。そのためにはなるべく父との接触を避ける必要がある。ご安心ください。父には内緒にしておきます。もし父がこのことを知れば、尾道から入り込んだヘイハイツたちは始末されることでしょう。そうなっては大変だ。
お前はなぜ我々をカムロ町に引き込もうとする？目的は何だ？
カムロ町東上界再生計画。
カムロ町東上界再生計画。
常雄の目的は菅井と染谷を使って東上界を乗っ取り、ゆくゆくはカムロ町の利権を全てその手に入れるというものだった。採用会はそれを実現するための駒にしか過ぎなかった。
だがあんたはそれを飲むしかなかった。
Damn.
あんたは自分がやった数万ロンダリングがあだになって人質を取られた形になったってわけか。
あとは桐生さん、あなたも知っての通りだ。石見常雄は我々採用会や菅井にカムロ町の構想を演じさせ、まず東上界の6代目を警察に逮捕させた。そして自分の言いなりになる菅井に東上界の実権を握らせると、今度は用済みとなった私の命を狙った。おそらく常雄はアジア外に我々を招いた時からそのつもりでいたのだろ
う。だがその時身代わりに殺されたのがあんたの息子ジミー・ローか。
一方でクルスからしても常雄の暴走は悪夢だったはずだ。私が息子を殺された報復に尾道の秘密を暴露すると恐れることになった。だからクルスは広瀬を使いによこし、まずは私に日本からの撤退を迫った。ユータを採用会の後継者に差し出すことでな。
あんたが一人でそう言ってるだけだ。おやつさんがそんなことは俺は信じねえぞ。
クルスや広瀬にとって尾道の秘密というのはもはや呪縛だ。だから広瀬はユータを私への刺客に仕立て上げた。彼らはもう私の口を塞ぐのに手段を選ばない。
黙れって。
桐生さん、あなたも広瀬を疑うことはできないか？
広瀬の親分は長いこと遥かをかくまってくれた恩人だ。あの人がいなけりゃ遥かも春人も今頃どうなってたかわからねえ。俺もユータと同じ気持ちだ。広瀬の親分を信じたい。
このビルに屋上があったな。
あ？
ここから先は桐生さん、あなたと2人で話したい。屋上で待っている。
All right, so let's go onwards upstairs. We're gonna have one more scene with him talking and telling us.
回復の兆しが出てきた。
本当ですか？
お前らがアジア外に行っている間、ハルカのいる警察病院でハルトをかくまってたんだ。その時偶然かもしれんが、眠っていたあいつの目から涙がこぼれた。あいつも必死になって目覚まそうとしてるんだ。たまにはいいニュースもねえとな。
そうか。ありがとう。
Yeah. We have one more scene with him, and then we're gonna have to go back to the next place. When we go back, we're gonna save. We're gonna call it a day. So let's have this final scene. We're just doing this so we don't have to do this on Tuesday, because this the talking is always a lot in these games when they get into them, because that's where like a lot of the story lore is dropped. And once we head over to the next area, it's just straight into like finding some clues and then a huge fight. So I guess we could find the clues, and then when we find where we need to go, we could save.
尾道の秘密はあなたに託す。私にはもうあまり時間が残されていない。
なんだと？
これを。
これは
先代が私に託したマイクロフィルムのデータ。あなたの持っている携帯で読み込めるはずだ。
さっきあんたが言ってた暗号が入っているってことか。
ああ、解読すれば尾道の秘密を暴く鍵となる。私には解けなかったが、尾道に詳しい者になら何かわかるかもしれない。そしてあなたが尾道の秘密に迫れば、その前に立ちふさがるのが広瀬だ。彼はあなたを殺してでも阻止しに来るだろ
う。なぜ俺に秘密を託すことにした？
あなたは沢村遥の親代わりだ。私の息子が愛した娘の父親。つまり我々は両家の父親同士ということになるな。もちろん今さら私に雄太の父親面する資格はない。それでも私が尾道の秘密と息子のことを託せる相手はあなただけだ。
雄太を？
雄太にとって広瀬という男は親というべき存在らしい。その広瀬を疑い続けて生きていくことは辛いはずだ。何らかの決着が必要になる。そして尾道の秘密を暴くことがそのきっかけになるはずだ。
待て。もう一つ。あんたさっき時間が残されてないと言っていたな。あれはどういうことだ？
私は宇佐美雄太を後継者とすることを断念したと組織に連絡を入れた。
何？
それは採用会の血の掟を守れなかったということを意味する。組織は存続するために私に代わる新たな総帥を立てるだろう。同時に掟を破った者には相応の償いが求められる。
それじゃあんたは？
間もなく採用会の資格が私のもとに来るはずだ。私が一緒にいては足手まといになる。採用会はアジア外から撤退する。心残りは岩見恒夫に殺されたジミー・ローの仇を取ってやれなかったことだ。
Damn。
雄太に何か伝えることは？
私はあの子の赤ん坊を殺そうとした男だ。最後に可愛い孫の顔を見れてよかったなどと言っても信じてはもらえまい。
Damn. Alright. Return to Onomichi. This is personal now, so we're gonna have to talk to them. We're gonna return. We'll save, unless this is I think this is the moment where we have to find clues. Once we find the clues, we'll save. Those clues could be annoying to find.
ん？ローはどうした？
あいつはもう二度と俺たちの前には現れない。ローは俺に尾道の秘密を暴く鍵を託していった。俺はこれから尾道に向かう。
秘密を暴きに行くってことか？
ああ。ただその前に広瀬一家の連中とも話す必要がある。あいつらが親と慕ってきた広瀬の親分と対決することになるかもしれないんだ。俺にはあいつらに通さなきゃならねえ筋がある。
なんでお前がそこまでしなきゃならねえんだ。ローが姿消したってんならもうハルトやハルカが狙われる理由もなくなるんじゃねえか？お前がこれ以上尾道に首突っ込む必要はねえ。違うか？
広瀬一家のあいつらをこの件に巻き込んできたのは間違いなく俺だ。それをもう俺の用は済んだと今さら手引くなんて真似はしたくない。
たくお前ってやつは変わらねえな。分かったよ、もう勝手にしろ。
ユータ、お前はハルトを連れてハルカのところへ行け。尾道へは俺一人で行く。
なんですか？いや、俺も行きますよ。
No, you can't take this, Yuta.
俺はな、ユータ。俺の目の前でハルカの両親が死んだ日、誓ったことがある。あいつもいつか好きな男ができて子供を持つだろう。そんな日が来るまで俺があいつの親でいよってな。
兄貴。
今のハルカには誰かがそばにいてやる必要がある。だがそれは父親の役目じゃない。お前にしかできないことだ。
そうはいきませんよ。ローは広瀬のおやっさんのことを好き放題デタラメ並べて言ったんすよ。俺はおやっさんの無実を尾道で確かめなきゃなんないんす。それでやっぱりおやっさんが無実だったら俺は今度こそあのローをぶっ殺してやる。
おい、
なんだよ。
デカの前で随分な言い草だな。舐めてんのかお前。
いや、そういうわけじゃ。
宇佐美優太、さっき起きたアジア街の火事の件でお前に話がある。
ちょっと冗談。
こいつのことは任しとけ。
だってさ。
I love that. Yeah.
若い男に娘取られる気持ちはどうだ？俺にはよくわかるよ。
急に先輩風吹かさないでくれ。
俺行くぞ。
マジかよあんた。頼むよ、ちょっと勘弁してくれって。
Alright. Looks like we're going to Onomichi. Alright. Bye bye, Mama. I'll take a taxi out of here. Oh, damn it.
Tema 取らせやがって。
初乗り料金。
Onomichi. Not when the others should be at the office. Should I? I think. Yeah. I think. I can't speak. I think we're gonna have to do this. This little cutscene real quick. So, probably after this cutscene, we're gonna have to stop. Yeah, we're entering a very yeah, we're gonna have some fights. All right, let's get it done. Oh well. They knew this was coming. All right.
Kiryuさんじゃの陽明連合会会長クルスからの伝言ですわ。この町から即刻出てってください。
理由は
親父からの命令ですけ。理由もなんもないわ。
なら俺もそんなもん聞く義理はないな。
ほうですか。こっちも手段は選ばんど。大っぴらにやっても構わんのじゃ。話はしまいじゃの。踊れな。ぶち殺したれ。
You guys don't scare me. What? Got him. GG's, bro. Alright. Going to Herose's family office. Alright.
昭和の黒幕と呼ばれた大道寺実氏ですが、
Yeah, I was gonna like fast travel tonight time.
訪れる財政界の大物たちも病状を知ることができないとのことで、深刻な状況が続いていると見られています。大道寺氏は戦争中、旧日本海軍の高級将校でしたが、戦後 GHQ の占領期の後、歴代の内閣に強い影響力を持ち続けたと言われ。
兄貴、なんじゃいつ帰ってきたんじゃ。
連絡しなくて悪かったな。
それよりユータは無事なんすか。
ああ、ただあいつはカムロ町に置いてきた。
今まで何があったんじゃ兄貴。
そいつを話しにここへ来たんだ。みんな座ってくれ。
Oh boy.
話がようわかりませんわ、兄貴。おやっさんがローを殺すためにユータを道具にした。で、一緒に死ぬように仕向けた。
あんたの話はそういう風に聞こえるんじゃがの。
奇遇じゃの頭。わしもじゃ。
俺もローから聞いた話だ。だが広瀬の親分は今どこにいる？最後にお前らがあの人を見たのはいつだ？
おやっさんがブラッと出ていくんはいつものことじゃ。そのうち帰ってくると思いますけ。
もし俺が尾道の秘密を暴こうとすれば、そこへ親分が現れるって話だ。その時はあの人はユータやローのように俺のことも殺そうとする。
それもローが言うとるだけだろうが。
ああ、確かにな。
わしと松永はノーは兄貴。ほんのガキン頃から広瀬のおやっさんに世話かけてきたんじゃ。わしらは父親がおらんかったけ。あん人がずっと親代わりよ。広瀬一家の歴史っちゅうんはそんじょそこらの組とは違うんじゃ。それを中国マフィアのたわごとに踊らされて、わしらにおやっさんを疑えっちゅうんか。どうなんじゃ、ああ桐生の兄貴。
ローの話を頭っからお前らが聞く気にならねえのは分かってる。俺だって信じたくはねえ。
信じとうはないが信じとるっちゅうことかい。ほいじゃったら桐生さん、わしらはもうあんたを兄貴とは呼べん。
だがもし尾道の秘密を前にしてそこに親分が現れたとしたら、お前らは
うちに親試すようなバカはおらんで。わしらは黙って親の言うことに従やええ。我も元極道じゃったら分かっとるはず。
You know what's funny about that? You know what's so funny about shutting up and obeying Yakuza rules? Kiryu was the one Yakuza that knew better than anyone. That yes, you were supposed to shut up and just go along with the rules no matter what. But he was the guy that always, when he felt something wasn't right, despite the need to shut up and follow the rules, he didn't follow the rules. He was the guy that always did the opposite. And then turned out he was right in not following them. So, Nagamo, you're not speaking to the right guy. Like, yeah, he knows to shut up and follow rules, but he also knows to follow his gut. And when something doesn't feel right to him, he can't just leave it be. So you're speaking to the wrong. Yeah, and then he's like, suddenly you care about the protocol when he's been kind of like destroying it the whole day or like the whole game.
ほうじゃ。わしらの頭をバカにしとるんか。
踊れら手出すな。表出や桐生。
Again, Nagamo, you really think you can beat me? How many times have we fought and you lose? How many times? This is going to be the same thing. You're about to lose again. I will say he's got balls, but he is stupid. If I lost to a guy 3 times, or even 2 times, I'm not going to try to fight him again. I know I can't win. I know I can't win, so why am I going to challenge him again? It's a waste of my breath and a waste of my time. I guess we're going to have this fight and then we'll stop. Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm doing it. I have enough to whoop his ass completely now. Got him. Sorry, Nagamo.
なんじゃおとれ。まだ終わっとらんと。引っ込んどれや。
違うんじゃ、頭。邪魔が入ったで。
本家の連中じゃ。
続きは後だ、ナグモ。
じゃが、こいつら何の目的じゃ。
クルス会長からの使いだろう。俺が尾道にいるのが気に食わねえらしい。
あんたが尾道の秘密を暴こうとしとるからか。
Yes, exactly.
もういい、ナグモ。連中に俺とはもう切れたと言え。そうすりゃお前らは見逃してもらえる。
今さらそがーなみっともないまでできんわい。
ええんじゃな、頭。
本家の連中に見せたれや。わしら広瀬一家がなんぼのもんかっちゅうのをも
Got him.
ナグモ。クルス会長が尾道の秘密を守ろうとしているのは間違いない。
ほうみたいじゃの。ほいじゃが、おやっさんもそうじゃとは限らんで。
親分を信じているならしっかりその目で確かめろ。聞いちまった疑いを抱えたままずっとあの人を親と呼び続けんのか。
It's a good point.
広瀬一家の絆は取り繕って守んなきゃなんねえ程度のもんじゃねえだろ。
当たり前じゃ。
え？あ、ほいじゃ秘密を暴きに行くんか、頭。でももしおやっさんがわしらをほんまに襲ってきたら。
もしもの話はもうええんじゃ。わしはええ加減そがにややこしい話はもうごめんじゃ。組の子分がおやっさんとあのにいちいち迷うことがあるんか。わしも腹決まりましたけ。あんたと一緒に尾道の秘密とやらを暴く。ただしわしらが動くんはあんたにおやっさんの無実を証明するためじゃ。それが分かった暁にはしっかり詫び入れてもらわんといけんど。
ああ、そん時は俺のことを好きにしていい。
男に二言はないの。桐生の兄貴。
また兄貴じゃ言うとる。
Do you ever stop changing your mind?
踊れも腹決め、松永。田頭もええの。で、どこ行ったら尾道の秘密を暴けるんじゃ。
こいつは牢に託されたある場所を示す暗号らしい。ただ問題は 俺にもローにも読み解けなかったってことだ。
あ？
解読するにはお前らの力が必要だ。これがローから受け取った。
So remember how I was going around? I'm gonna tell you how to solve it right now. Remember how I was going around hitting all those stone things earlier, like 2 chapters ago? Because I thought it was time for that. That's what we gotta do now. All those stones have a letter or a symbol that point to this. Well, a letter in this case. And that will lead us to where we need to go. Whereas that's where the secret is. So we just need to find all, I think that's 5 or 6 stones across the map here, and that will lead us to where we need to go. It'll basically give us our answer.
見る限りアルファベットと数字がワンセットになっとるようじゃの。これはもしかしたら開示暗号かもしれん。
開示暗号？
わしもネットでしか見たことがないんじゃが。
Now the chapter ends with a boss fight, so I'm gonna end it before we get into all the subsequent fighting and then the boss fight. So we're gonna get the stones, we're gonna find out the location, and then we're gonna save close to the location. Because once you go to the location, you have non-stop fights, and then the boss fight, and then the chapter ends. And we can finish that Tuesday morning. I'll have time to do it on Tuesday. I need to eat. My food was cooling down in the fridge. I need to eat, and then I need to shower before my fiance gets home. She gets off at, I think, 6:30, so it's about to be 3:30, so yeah, it's gonna take me like an hour to shower. I usually take like 30 minutes to shower just to relax, but it's gonna take me an hour to shower and probably cook some food. Well, like, prepare my food, I guess, and then 2 hours of relaxation is good. But we did quite a bit today. Thank the Lord the internet was working with me, because I would have been so sad if it was just bullshitting. But yeah, tomorrow I'll take off. Wednesday morning, or no, tomorrow I'll take off. Tomorrow's Monday. Tuesday morning we'll finish this up, and then we'll be back Wednesday with something else. And then I think next week, let me see, next week Halloween comes out, right? Because next week is up to the 5th. When does Halloween come out? Next Tuesday is the 1st. Let me see when Halloween comes out. We'll check it in a second. Let's get this out of the way. We're gonna multitask. Alright, so we're down here, so let's start at the bottom, and then we'll work our way towards the top. We're gonna go for this stone that is down here. This is the easiest to figure out. Oh, there's some guys here. I'm gonna avoid them. When you go up to the stone up here and interact with it, you'll get the code. You'll get like a little tiny cutscene. They'll despawn.
墓からも花桶からもひばりかな小林一茶
Let's pause that for a second. Halloween comes out September 8th. So, not next week, the week after. Oh, God. The week after, 2 weeks.